So really, that's what our franchise agreement was about, which is we have another company here in town that's already working, and we're working on getting one with them, but they're already working. So
Okay.
to me, signing the DOT permit doesn't seem like it's out of the way to allow you to continue your progress as long as we're continually working towards the franchise agreement.
Okay.
Other thoughts, Wes?
No, you stated it's basically just the franchise agreement protects the city's infrastructure and gives them some teeth if we have a bad actor in town.
Sure.
Not saying you are, but
No,
it happens. So
it does.
Yeah.
And
So
I appreciate you looking out for
yeah,
their interests.
that's all that is. So,
Council?
but I think the DOT sign off that you're talking about doesn't grant the permit. That just grants them the DOT permit, right?
Yes.
So
just
there's
the
no
DOT.
city approval
Yes,
that has to go with that.
Yeah.
We still are subject to
Right,
the
because you're in
city.
210 corridor, so you have to get the DOT one as well.
Correct.
But then also
We have
the
to
city
get-
one.
We have to have the city
Sign off.
sign off and say that you agree with the premise of the idea. But if we do not have permission from the city, we cannot start yet.
So signing that one wouldn't be a go, it'd be a go for the DOT to complete their end, but
Your paperwork talks about aerial terminals. Translation, is that a post? Is that what we're talking?
It's a termination on a pole.
So you,
Existing
Everything's
power-
above
on the
ground,
existing
so
power
I guess aerial would be.
And then we would take a drop down the pole.
So most of Windstream is on poles in town or
Yeah.
kinetic. There's some exceptions. There's some fiber down Main Street, up and down the alleys. But I think the rest is out of the poles outside of town. So I think they're just wrapping that around what's
Exactly.
already there and just gonna keep it going.
Exactly.
The franchise agreement only protects the city's infrastructure.
it's been a while since I looked at it. I think it's infrastructure and then just like restoration.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
restoration.
It has to do with what you leave behind when you do your work, and then if there's any damages during the work. I believe is what-
That is what I read today, and it does reference the restoration of the ground. So, and like I said, it should be left in as good or better condition as we find it.
It has nothing to do with the franchise fee.
Is there a fee in the franchise agreement?
We have a fee in the franchise agreement on the, I think it's the gas side
Is the
or
ordinance?
electric.
Yeah, the ordinances, if I remember right, the ordinances, there's a gas franchise section, there's an electric franchise section.
And there's a 2%.
Yeah, but I don't think, those are specific to gas and electric, I don't think those would cover any other kind of fees. So if there's any other kind of fees for this type of franchise utility, it'd have to be written into the franchise agreement.
And does the franchise offer exclusive rights,
No.
or is it just
I don't believe so, not from
when you go in, you have to restore, you have to be careful not to destroy.
From my reading of the franchise agreement, it states that it is a non-exclusive right just to use the areas within the right of way.
From what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, the attorney recommended something that is in the franchise agreement that it be changed or that it not be accepted.
The attorney is recommending no more than 10 years on the franchise agreement.
And that's not what is being,
The Kinetic is asking for a 25-year contract.
so I would say this needs to be thought of more down the road and not agree to it tonight.
Well, what's on the agenda tonight is the application for a Iowa DOT work in the right of way, right?
Actually, the only thing on our agenda is discussion with project.
So we would not be approving anything.
Not necessarily. We'd have to add it to the next month's meeting.
Okay.
If that's what we want.
And I guess what my request is so that you have the information in front of you for the permit. When the franchise agreement is agreed to, that in the same meeting, that possibly that permit could also be voted on.
I don't see any issues with that.
Okay.
But we can put them both on the agenda and hope that the attorneys can work it out before next month. So,
I got till the 10th.
work for you?
That works for me.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, I gave Dale and Joel my card. Give me a holler.
Thank you.
Very much.
You bet.
All right. On to discussion and consideration of whether a nuisance exists at 412 Maxwell Street pursuant to the issued nuisance letter in accordance with City Code Chapter 50. Mr. Stumbo? You can
No,
say
you can
it.
say.
Please let us know who you are.
So, I'm gonna thank somebody at I actually got this after I already cut down trees on my property line. So I'm kinda wondering what exactly, 'cause my property line goes up to my fence line. And so I had actually cut down the trees that were like growing under it, which I assume was the problem.
Okay.
But then I got this after that. And so I'm wondering exactly how far into the alley I'm supposed to try to take care of. Because there's a city pole there, so not the city's property after that.
We'll look at the map. So it was the trees in your alleyway?
That's what I'm assuming, but there's vegetation there.
And you have a fence that borders the alley?
Yeah, and there's a power pole right up against my fence.
Okay.
That's where I assume the property line is. So I'm wondering if you guys want me to go all the way to the middle of the alley or just up to that power pole?
I drove through the alley today or yesterday, didn't see any problem.
Was passable?
I also want to know what you guys want me to maintain. Like
Well,
where,
What you're required to maintain is the trees in your front yard,
right, up until the curb.
right?
Right.
And to make sure that there aren't any branches overhanging the road so that they're trimmed up to
15 feet?
15 feet and the sidewalk up to what is it, 8 feet?
8 feet above the sidewalk.
And so that's part of your responsibility. And then making sure that your half of the alley
So up to the middle of the alley.
is passable. So there wouldn't be any shrubs or brush that's would make it so that a vehicle could not pass through the alley.
Okay, because yeah, I'll kill all the vegetation back there and have big yellow patch, and that's what I want.
Not just to make sure that there are no
Somebody drives
trees or
down,
shrubs
correct.
that are making it so that a car cannot, emergency vehicle or whatever cannot get through the alley. So just half the alley.
Like, just half the alley.
Yep.
Okay.
And same with the street. You would have half the street if your branch is hanging over. The exception being out here on Highway 210 because the state comes in and takes care of those often. But the rest of the city streets, the responsibility is on the city.
Just for argument's sake, if there's like a tree growing in the city street, then that's what I have to take care of.
If it was growing in the city street, no, that is our responsibility.
Okay. So that's what I'm asking. If it's growing in the middle of the alleyway, is that my responsibility?
It could be either yours or theirs, your abutting
But
neighbor
not
to the other side. But I mean, if it's a big tree, is it a big tree or just something that can be snipped
Well, no, I'm
off
sorry,
because it's a
just for
sapling?
argument's sake here. Like,
Mhm.
if there's a sapling in the middle of the,
And then the alley would not be passable and it would have to be cut down.
and then I would take care of that and not the city.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I need to know. And then I guess actually,
And you said that you're already taking care of the brush before you got this letter. About how many days before the letter came had you already taken care of it?
5.
Yeah, so things
I
just
take it
crossed
in
in the
the
mail.
week
He goes out and he does his inspection, then he has to write up his report, and then it may come to the council for approval, and then it's mailed out.
Well, I didn't think any of them actually made it impassable or even
The
was the 15 feet minimum clearance. But I was cutting them down because I didn't want them in my fence line.
Mhm.
But I didn't think this was warranted in the first place. And then I wanted to make sure that if he decides on a whim or whatever that there's something in here about a $750 fine. Basically, I wanted to see if we could get it taken off by.
No, that's for educational purposes.
What
Well,
he
it says
what,
if I get another one of these in a year's time, then it's a $700 fine.
Oh.
Under civil penalty.
Just have to keep yourself handy.
Well, then if I disagree with him though, but.
I know. I'm just saying, we legally have to let you know what the ordinance says.
Right.
So that's why that's in there.
Okay, so
Just
this-
information for you.
okay, so if I get another one of these in a year. then-
Well, then we'll have problems. Then
well,
yeah,
I'm,
you know what the
there will
ordinance is.
be a notice sent that there's a violation, and if it's not taken care of, then that's when
Okay, so the notice means nothing as long as I take care of it.
That is the whole point.
Yep.
That is what our prerogative is behind this. We would much rather this property owners take care of their property on their own without us having to send letters. And in the situation where you took care of it before you even got the letter, that's exactly what we're looking for. So we appreciate that. All right, thank you, sir.
you can leave anytime or you can hang around. It's a very exciting meeting.
All right, so no nuisance at 412
12.
Maxwell Street. Discussion and possible action on 500 Baldwin Street drainage.
That's me.
Hi.
I'm Sandra Carroll. I'm one of the owners. My husband's working, so he can't be here. I do have more pictures just to add to the file. Different rainstorms,
Yep.
even a snowstorm. It's just, it's washing away the yard and the driveway. So I don't know what your possible actions are. My suggestion would be to put a gutter or a drain up closer to Baldwin Street on the corner of Fifth and Baldwin. Because otherwise, where the curb is now, to catch the water before it goes down into the, because basically the curb is funneling it right after it goes right into the yard. The drainage there is
So I'm gonna share a conversation that I had with the engineer. And the design intent of the project was that they installed the storm sewer system to outlet to the west and to be sized to carry the 5-year design storm for the Baldwin Street and future eastward storm sewer installation. So they're moving the water, the 5-year storm off the premises. The graded manhole cover that is there, it was 6 one, half dozen the other. It was either we put a manhole cover over it or we just leave it open grate.
Right.
And they decided to make it an open grate. It's not an intake. It was never intended as an intake. That wasn't part of the program or the design. It was just it was less expensive for them to put a grate over it so nobody fell in it, provide some water removal.
the reason they put the domes and the flat one.
Just whatever they had available.
Okay.
No,
Curious.
typically domes are used in grass areas because the flat one, they'd be covered over with grass. And even if it ever did want to drain, then
Okay.
they'd
No,
blind
I
it. So
was
it's just
curious.
default.
Okay, gotcha.
Not saying it's right, but every time we put it in grass, it's a dome.
Okay.
The structure was included in the project due to the presence of other subsurface utilities. So I don't know if you saw what we had to do in that area. We had to pothole the area in order to find what was all there, and that was part of your water issue, or part of the softness that you're getting in the soil now, is that we had to disturb down, was it 8 feet almost, with water in order to be able to find what all was in that area. Mostly roots is what it was, because it looked like a spider web looking down there. So part of it, that it's settlement. It's going to take some time for that to settle. And there's the water area was also evaluated. If you look in your packet, page 36, Spencer had pulled the data from the colors of the locations of the levels. And that was the low area in your yard to begin with. This was, I want to say that he pulled this data from prior to the construction project. So the water was there to begin with, and the curb isn't really helping matters now. It was already a low spot. And then we also have there's also in the packet, page 37, is a picture of the driveway.
Yeah. But there used to be a drain in our driveway they took out. And I think the water, funneled towards that. And
Yes, there
there's
used to be an inlet in your driveway that went across the street and into the pipe
Okay,
that was there. Yes.
and why did they get rid of that? It was working, so why? You're saying we have a low point, but I mean, we've never had the water issues until this was done.
It's possible that tile inlet didn't get reflected on our survey, so we didn't realize it was there.
Well, and then you had the issue with behind us with Shannon, his sewer is not even hooked up now, so they're digging in our driveway again. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot more issues here, and I just think if they're going to dig stuff up, that they can come up with some way to fix it.
Is there anything in the plans now to remedy the situation?
No, there's nothing in the plans that would remedy it, the original plan. Now, you are correct, it's a different issue, but Shannon Sewer Service is something that we are going to be addressing. So there might be some opportunity to do something there.
So what Spencer had told me, here's our 3 potential next steps.
Okay.
The right of way could remain as it exists today. Low points, puddles, may have moved post-construction, but are generally consistent with pre-construction condition. Understand there may not have been water there, but I walk by your house all the time.
Right.
Understand that water comes up when it rains, it's gone the very next day. It's not standing.
Oh no, those pictures, it's 2-3 days in our driveway. And it was not there before. I wish I would have taken pictures before. I didn't realize we're gonna have this issue, but I wholeheartedly disagree with that.
The other options are the right of way could be shaped to allow water to flow west and pond on the adjacent property.
Yeah, and then you're just putting it over on our neighbors, so that's not, a very good option, I don't think.
Then the Nilo Pass manhole, which is what's in your yard, could be lowered as a regional drain. The right of way would require regrading, and earth material would need to be removed from the site in order to make that happen. We would have to regrade that entire area.
Right, so you're just gonna make it flow right in there, which is.
It's not going to solve any problems.
Solve any problems.
That's
Right.
that's the issue. Your driveway is too high. your driveway is causing your water problem. Where we just went and dumped, I don't know how many tons of rock in your driveway, has caused your problem.
Okay, but it was not causing the problem beforehand when we had.
Right,
dinner.
because there wasn't any rock there. It was just running across.
There's been rock there.
I'll show you a
Time.
picture.
Yep.
It's right
It
here.
was smaller rock. It was the,
But it was low, it was a low point. It was basically, it was able to flow along the side of the road next where there wasn't much rock left.
right, because there wasn't a curve that was forcing it when it goes down. It was going down, it was going into the drain. That was right about, let's see, which way are we going? Is this Shannon's?
Yep.
There was a drain right about here and it was hitting there. And there's no drain there anymore. And the curb, but the curb that they put in is now forcing it to go on that curve and then coming down. Plus, we had a drain. Where's my house again? Where's the front? We had a drain on this corner that all the water was going in. You took that out completely, so the water wasn't even coming down that street before. So you can't say that it was running because it was going into this drain, which is gone.
So
Because they moved it
Because they moved the drain
across the
10
street.
foot up
Or
or
up
Baldwin
further
Street.
Further north, yeah.
So there's no drain there to the sewer drain is gone. So the water is coming down my street now. So you can't tell me it has to do with my driveway being high because there was no water there.
so it's a design
It's
flaw,
why
or-
they took that drain out is the issue. All the water from Fifth Street coming down, Baldwin coming down is going to my corner where it used to go and it'd go in the drain. And then if there was overflow, it would go, down the road. But very rarely, I mean, you'd have big storms, then it would go down to the drain in my driveway. But now you have the curb there with no gutter. So the water's pushing down, it's pushing through my yard, pushing through my driveway. It has nothing to do with the height of my driveway or my yard.
So if that drain was put
Still there.
in, then you would not have.
I would
a
not have the
problem.
issue. I'm not an engineer, but I don't know why they took it out to begin with.
Well, the drain on the corner, my recollection of the project, this goes back in 2009, I think was the original design to do some storm sewer improvements. There.
Right.
It just never happened. There was an issue with water going down that roadway because that's one of the reasons why we were looking to improve that intersection with the stormwater. The existing drain that was there was undersized. It was clogged a lot. It had issues.
Right.
So it was there on the radius. Well, drains on radius aren't advised. They don't do those anymore. It just doesn't work with construction. So the drain that was on the corner was moved up onto the straight section of Baldwin Street.
Right.
So that's moved up. Now, a lot of the water that comes to that corner is coming down Baldwin Street. So that intake is designed to pick up some of that,
And that's good, but you have all the water coming down Fifth Street.
which I can't remember. Did we put intakes on the upstream side of Fifth Street?
No, it runs down the side of it. Oh, no.
There are drains.
There is one on
that
there is
corner
one on
house
I
in
the
the
thought there
middle.
was one there on the
Yeah.
northeast side that's
Yeah,
designed to
big
take
one.
a lot of what comes
Yep.
down Fifth Street. But you have bypass that goes over those intakes. So there's always some of the bypass that comes over the intakes. So the discussion of there used to be a tile drain in there, that makes me think that might have been what was helping keep that drier, that area more dry. So if that was, I think there was still water coming around there. The big storm events, it would have still came around there. But the smaller events that may have drained out
Right.
that area
No,
better.
but the one on the corner, that was always full. The water was going in it regardless. So you're saying that it wasn't needed or you.
No, it was needed,
It
but
was
but
needed.
the outlet pipe was too small, so it would
Right.
it would overflow and surcharge
So
and come.
the ones that it replaced it are not taking care of the issue. It's still needed there,
Well, I think they're still taking water because they're taking water that's coming down Fifth Street.
but not.
But some of the bypass, we call bypass water that just flows past them, comes around. What I suspect, I have to spend a little bit more, but we might be seeing some of those smaller storm events puddling more because that the little drain tile that you said was there isn't there anymore. So that might accentuate
Right,
the small storm event
right.
things. So,
But when you added the curb, you only added it like halfway down my yard. And
because
so-
it was just to get around the radius. That was the extent of the project. We weren't redoing Fifth Street all the way to the end. It was Baldwin Street. So that was just to tie it in. So, which is about where it was before, wasn't it?
We had no curb. There was
So
no curb
that
there.
intake there, I'm trying to recall, it's been too many years
Right.
ago. That intake there, was it in a curb or was it just in a low spot?
It was on the, where the sidewalk goes, it was right on the side of the sidewalk. It was on the
Right here.
Okay.
west, or
Well,
east side of the sidewalk,
Sue.
on the curb.
what I'm
Pictures.
wondering,
The
Mayor, is
pictures.
that there may be a fourth alternative there to, especially if we have to do some work with Shannon Sewer. It might be something to where those small storm events could have a smaller drain tile that's just a tap into the existing, the new sewer there.
Right,
That would drain out those small storm events. The big storm events is still gonna come around there.
right,
I don't think we
right,
can get rid
but,
of that. But it might be able to drain at least some of that little area that's caused by, because the driveway is also difficult because it's long, it's wide.
mhm,
So to reshape a ditch through there with a culvert, there's not depth, it doesn't really work. But a small drain tile might,
right,
capture some of those-
more towards the, where the curb is, correct?
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanna make sure that it's up far
They
enough
would
that
maybe
it's
pick
gonna
up some of the
catch it.
storm events and maybe
Right.
keep it from getting soggy on the driveway. That's something we could look at, maybe a fourth option. if we wanted to.
The other side of it is that it's really, it's the parking. It's not your personal property. There's water standing in the parking area.
Well, it's in our yard, where
That's-
I'd like to extend my dog kennel, but I can't because it's.
That's the
mud.
parking. That's the parking out
Why-
here. That's not your property.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know what the best answer is.
No, I don't,
I don't
I
know
just,
what
I'm
the-
thinking with, if you have issues with Shannon, that we can tie something in would be great.
I'd be fine with
I
it if
mean,
we
they're
can
bringing in
evaluate
big
it,
bulldozers tonight, so.
but there's always cost involved with everything we
Right,
do. So
right, but I just, I, taking that drain away is the issue that caused all of these other issues, so.
Wes, can you find out what it'll cost to lower that drain? Just to lower it so any standing water in the area may roll into it. I don't necessarily
I don't,
wanna,
it doesn't
I don't
have to
wanna
go
re-
across the curb, it's not gonna,
I don't
it
wanna
will never
regrade
be
though.
above the curb to get down into that drain.
I think that grade is behind the curb, so it would have to be.
It has to go above the curb to get into.
Well, no, I
the-
think we could grade it so that it goes around and then has a swale that drops down in the front yard. I think that's what Mayor is saying. Is that it-
So come around the curb and then go
Yeah, so
back.
it would be lower so that it would actually probably drain back from your driveway back to that as well.
Some of the water is coming from your driveway. Your driveway's big and it catches water and it's higher than the rest, so it's gotta run off too.
Right.
There's just,
Well, I don't even wanna go to wire driveway, so they said, that goes back years to get the garage built, before your guys' time. You don't wanna go there,
so
okay.
I think that's probably our least
So the water, okay,
resistant
so,
path.
so I can explain this, to you, right? The water will come down the curb and then possibly drain back into
Into
the
the-
dome
Yep,
that we have in the yard.
Yep.
That's one of the possibilities.
others thoughts? Okay,
All right, perfect, thank you.
thank you.
Since the sheriff's here, can we go ahead and move him up real quick before this next one? Just wondering.
We'll do it real fast.
He usually doesn't take very long,
Yes.
so
Go ahead, sir.
Here to hear if you have any concerns.
I do think I caught one of the deputies. That vehicle had been sitting north of the intersection of Main and Fifth. After 2 months, is now finally gone.
Yeah, all I had to do was call the owner. Sometimes it works out that way.
We didn't know an owner for a while, did we?
I had to figure that out.
Okay.
It took me a little time.
What was
Issue
the
with parking.
violation that we felt existed on that vehicle?
just hasn't moved in the
It's
parking.
More
Yeah.
than 7 days.
And
Okay.
there was no license plates on it
Yeah,
Oh, no license plate, definitely.
for like 2 months, sat there with no license plates on it, so.
Well, I'm not,
Right at the
what I
corner,
don't know is whether or not
Main
anybody
and-
To the intersection.
tagged it to ensure that it hadn't moved. I mean, you look at my vehicles and they're always parked in the same spot, but
But they're in your.
I've got pictures that, I guess it's where the valve stem was on the tire at the same.
I spoke to the,
that's what you have to have to prove that it hasn't moved for 7 days.
I spoke
The
to
ordinance says there's no problem with anybody parking there. Now, without plates, that's a different thing. But you can park in the right of way without a problem
7 days.
for 7 days.
Get out your sidewalk truck.
that was what I was gonna do. In fact, I planned on doing that with the other vehicle that had been mentioned up by the school, so.
That
I
one
just
has
haven't
been
got to
moved.
that. Okay. Well, I'll take it off my list.
Backed in an angle parking spot, heading the wrong direction, but it's different than it was. Is it illegal to back in an angle parking spot?
Well, you are supposed to face,
Park facing traffic and it wouldn't be.
and if it's an angle instead of straight in,
Not perpendicular, right?
then it's not parked in the direction of travel. And so that would be a violation if it's backed in.
What if-
Now, if it's a straight in, then you can't, there's no problem.
What if they're parked over the sidewalk? Because there's,
That's a violation also.
I know, that's why I'm saying if you would want to check, what is it, Sixth and Maxwell. Not Main Street, is it? Sixth and Maxwell.
On 6th around Maxwell.
It's facing the house.
But is it the north-south street or the
Sixth Street?
east-west?
Which side of the
It's-
intersection? Northwest?
It's on the east side on Maxwell Street.
Okay.
And it's over the sidewalk. And it's there on a regular basis.
See if that's something a conversation can't remedy.
It's been for conversation for a long time.
Okay.
I noticed that we got some more black marks on Baldwin Street.
Oh.
And
Here, yeah, let me tell you, I live on the corner where the stop sign is. They don't
as,
stop.
as
They
well as
speed
Broad,
the
Broad
opposite.
and Maxwell Street down
North or
here.
south end of
They-
the street?
I didn't see any,
Right
I
across there.
wrong street,
You
wrong
can
B
steer
Street.
them
It was
that
Broad
way.
Street.
Okay.
There's a gray Charger that is terrorizing through town.
I think I'm familiar with the same Charger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
We've had several complaints of driving behavior,
Yeah.
particularly in the north end of town.
Yeah. Same one. It's loud. You can hear it all the way through town. That part's just part of it, but it's when the kids are out that is the issue.
So it's 7 days parking? Because I know the owner of that Lexus owns a bike street,
Okay.
and we move it every 5 or 6 days.
7 days is your parking restriction.
7 days?
Yep. All right. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Yep.
Have a good night.
You as well.
All
Thank you.
right. Where we at? 13?
13.
Discussion of possible approval of bids for the Baldwin Outlet Channel project. I gotta find 13.
West of your house to the creek.
That's what I was looking at. That's weird.
Yeah, we haven't completed the project yet. Water management.
Page 49.
Thank you.
Hey, did you do that? All right, okay.
I don't need those.
Okay,
Are
perfect.
you gonna have them?
Thank you.
All right. And you're here to speak on this?
It goes to 69.
Yeah, my name's Eric Carlson. I'm your neighbor.
Yep.
So I live on the end of the street. My wife and I have been here for about 3.5 years. So you probably don't know us because we live a pretty quiet life. But thank you for your service to our town. So we've been so Wendy and before her, Deb have been my new best friends, and even Spencer at Snyder. We've chatted as well. My mom used to work at Snyder and Associates. So, but that drain went in last year around December, and I didn't realize that was going to happen. There hasn't been any proactive communication to our family, so I was surprised when it stopped 100 feet in that easement. And then subsequently, when we've gotten a lot of rain, it's flooded my property, it's flooded Tracy's property to the south. And that water sits there, it's turned my property into a marsh. Breeds mosquitoes, it introduces odor to our property. There's trash and runoff debris that come through there. And it's just it's devaluing my land. So I was just here to see, I talked with Wendy before. It sounded like you all were collecting bids on that project to run it to Indian Creek. So just wanted to get an update on what we look like for that and if we've made any progress essentially.
So that's what we have now. Finally, 2 bids.
Second
Unfortunately, this is the second try. We didn't have any bidders this time or the last time. They were sealed bids. I've opened them. I will share with the council. The first one was Huber Grading. Was that my first one I received? Yeah. Huber Grading. Total of $42,515. And of course, we would have Wes look through that and make sure that it would meet our requirements as per our design spec. And then the other one was,
Dave's Dozian, I believe.
yes, it's just hidden in there somewhere. Dave's Dozer.
Dave's, those are-
Dave's Dozian.
Dave's Firewood Distributing, also known as Dave's Dozing. And his bid was $83,060.
You have to buy the dozer before
I can comment a little bit on Dave. Dave's been corresponding with me and stuff and a couple times to talk it. He did comment that there were a couple items that he saw in there that if you want to value engineering, then he can bring his cost way down. But this is an official bid, so I don't, we can check with legal counsel on how much of that we can do. But he did say there were a couple things that were higher priced. The tree removal was a concern of his, and where the disposal of the trees could be disposed of at the city yard, that would bring costs down a little bit, but he didn't know that for sure. So, and then there was another one, some industry diversion stuff that wasn't, probably pretty high on, so. If there were some changes to that, it'd be a big difference. But
The bonus is we have a bid that's much more reasonable that didn't have all those questions or concerns.
And from a very well-known firm.
Yes.
no, I do know Dave, and he is very well known too. He's a small guy, it's just him and his son, but he's done a lot of work for us. He comes highly recommended.
Good.
Just put that out there. But,
Yep.
Yeah. He's good at the nasty stuff, actually. If you have a pond that needs dredged, he's your man.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So there's no action tonight. It needs to be reviewed by the engineer for compliance with terms, and we would act on it in December.
or could we act on it now pending approval?
Pretty subject to no discrepancies and
That's an option as well.
That'd be a motion I would make.
Second it.
It is an actionable item tonight.
Right.
Does it state when that work would begin?
ASAP, I think we have a completion date of July. That's kind of to cover the seeding and that kind of thing.
Tree removal needs
Tree
to be
removal
done
has
by
to be done
March.
before March first.
Yeah.
So it has, that part has to start, yeah.
And that was really a big part of the holdup.
Right,
You know, we had to wait till October
Yeah.
anyway before we could
We were
do
ready
anything.
in
So
early summer, but we couldn't. get trees.
right,
So,
right.
There is, from Eric's fence, the green fence, or green gate there, this way for 50 or 80 yards on the south. I took some pictures. There's an old pull behind sickle mower, a couple big tanks, part of a roof that's a tin roof that's there. I don't know. We talked about it once. I don't know if we had Tony look to see if it's city property or where it is, but we don't need to have that stuff sitting around. If that's something Tony and the gang can get rid of or find out who owns it.
figure out who owns it.
All belongs to Christensen.
Oh, that's all Tracy's. Okay.
And one of the first things that I think we get done will be the limits of the state. They might not be staked, and once that's in there, it goes, so we're going on.
The one thing that I'd like to understand too is how disruptive it will be to our land, because obviously that's a narrow space that they're gonna have to carve out to take down trees, so, thank you. I gotta keep this.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Public information.
The project limits are the existing right of way that extends to the creek, so it's a 50-foot, I think it's 50 foot, 50 or 60 foot.
I just gave away my notes.
Actually, let's just
Keep it hanging in mind.
Alright.
So that's our construction. So the intent is to stay entirely within city right of way property. Okay. We'll be on
A 66-foot right away.
66 there. Okay.
Awesome.
Does that help?
Yeah, super helpful.
Good.
So,
All right.
Jill,
So,
can you go, oh, sorry, go
No,
ahead.
I'm gonna sneak out. Appreciate it. Nice
Thank
to meet
you.
y'all.
Nice meeting you.
Thanks, everyone.
What are the action items on ours? Will I be on the agenda next time, or are we gonna, sorry.
I'll wait until I hear back from Wes in regards to what we have, and if it's something that I need to pay for, then we'll bring it up as an action item.
Okay, will you keep me posted?
Yep.
All right, awesome, thank you.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
I forgot
Nope,
to
you're
ask.
are we going to do
Have a good night.
anything with
Thanks.
the number 13?
That is, we're just passing around
Yeah,
everybody got a chance to see it. You guys have the opportunity. Was that a motion, Doug?
I did.
and I
Okay.
seconded.
And a second, any further discussion? I think we've just been discussing it to death. All right. Steve,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
Ken.
Yeah.
All right. I need those back, or at least to give them to Wes, please. And Lindy, you'll probably need a copy of them. Thank you.
He can do that while he's sitting here, you know, I'll digest it.
All right. On to number 8, discussion and possible action on 608 7th Street shed in city right away. Back to it. There it is. Wendy, did we have a complaint in regards to this?
No, it was from the Hammerhead discussion. The last meeting.
mhm. And it's hidden back there behind a bunch of trees because they had the illegal fireworks on the 4th of July.
So are we good with sending notice?
According to the beacon, it doesn't show that as a right of way right there where that shows that. Well, which one are they talking about? The one in the back corner?
That's what I wanted. The
Yeah.
white one or the one on the stilts?
The blue one that's sitting back
Okay.
there,
Because the white was just as far east as the one on stilts.
really?
The one in the corner is not in the city right away. In the back corner, southeast corner of the property.
The white one? There's the fire hydrant. Kept that for reference.
See, and I can't.
Yeah, according to the
Word.
beacon, which it doesn't show it being on that property, no.
Don't you know?
There's a. This one's halfway in the right of way. That's up by the 7th Street, right up by the street.
Is that the gray one?
I don't know. I can't tell by your picture where you're facing and what.
I'm facing south toward.
The blue one on the
So the
stilt
gray
is
one is-
definitely-
The gray one that's the other property. That's the guy behind him.
The white one or the gray one?
The gray one back there. That belongs to 7th Street or 6th Street. Well, that's not even his. That's not this property owner's. It's either that one or the one behind him.
Right here.
That's clear over by the
is
water
this
tower.
Yes.
property,
That's somebody
According
else's
to-
property. We're not talking about the same thing.
county assessor.
Yeah, but
You're
But is that
talking
one as
about
far
608 7th Street.
608 7th Street.
And if you look at 608 7th Street, on the northeast corner of the property, on Beacon, there is a car and a shed sitting in the right of way.
Yes.
Yep.
he has claimed that as his own.
A person can claim anything.
I know.
And the one on stilts, he said it's cemented in the ground, so it's not an easy pickup and move.
What'd you say it was, control, or Windows K?
Take off the stumps and put it on new ones.
You
That's
just
what they have to
turn it
do
off.
it.
Shut off automatic. Okay. Well, nobody has any concerns. I've seen it on the map. I'm good with having Adam issue notice.
I mean, we have Adam issue
So
whatever he has to issue.
Yes, Ken?
my concern is before we go and, or we can go ahead and do that, but
Slide it down just a little bit.
let me get,
There you go.
this is the property we're looking at.
Yep.
You want it to come down?
Yeah. See the whole, see, there's the
Yeah.
right of way line.
Yeah, go over to the left and click
There's
the,
the shed.
click the
Yeah.
right of way box over on the left side
Yeah.
in the legend,
The what way?
the right of way on the legend, just right up there, up. Right at the top of the legend, right there, like that. Now it should be in purple where the right of way is.
This line right here?
Yep, that purple line right there. But then it comes right across. If you click off of that, click right there where it says 608. Just click right there.
Yeah, in the street.
There you go.
Yeah, so now you can see
And
the,
just get rid of the X.
now you can see the right of way.
Now you can see the purple line. It cuts right through that car and that building.
Yep.
So it is in the right of way right there.
Mhm.
So
That's
I went
what
to
they
go-
did and shoot off fire.
I didn't have anything else to do today, so I looked at all the property, parcel IDs that the city owns. Okay? And I looked to see how many were abutted against other people's property, personal properties. Because this one here is not just the only one that I'm concerned with either. It's, this one. Right there.
That's a swimming pool in the right of way.
Okay. And so there were 26 of our properties that butt up against other people's deal.
You mean where other people are encroaching into the right of
No,
way?
no, no.
No.
We would just butt up to them. Okay.
Every-
So I'm not saying they're all, I'm just saying is I was told that these lines can be 5, 7, 10 foot off.
Mhm.
Okay. So before we go and accuse anybody of having their stuff on our property, we still need to look. Maybe we should have any property lines that abut up against anybody's like this. Maybe we should have
You
that.
gotta find the pins.
What's that?
Find the pins.
Find the pins.
Was that done when they dug the ditch and tore out all those scrub
I
trees?
don't know, Sue.
Would Tony know that?
Well, I doubt if they, why don't you scroll back up? I'm sure that they found the
east-west line.
I'm sure they found that. Because they had to know where this line was. Now,
Correct.
Well, they may not have found that pin, but they're pretty sure they would have established that line by some pins. So that is the development, the Rock Creek Estate development.
Yep.
So, it wouldn't be hard to get that line staked, because I'm pretty sure they would have that information, because they'll need it when they go to stake out the lots or
Right.
lot pins on that development.
And I think you're absolutely correct. I don't think any of the lines on Beacon are 7 feet off. But I certainly wouldn't argue with possibly 5,
2 to 5.
up to 5.
The only, I even went over and like looked over here, right there is a
Yeah, see,
property line,
There's a house on it. Over.
About 2 feet of the house.
about 2 foot of that garage.
Maybe the eave, I doubt it. Have an eave overhang on the side.
So,
Who
is it-
knows?
Right. So I'm just saying, is like in that case, buying the pins,
Move his house.
take it and rent it to the garage, take it and rent it back to them.
What Ken suggested,
I'm
before
suggesting
we
is can-
have them, before we send out a notice that they've got to tear down their shed, we should know where the property line is. And this would be locating one pin, and it's something that our engineering company should be able to do, particularly since we have that other development going.
Would they have surveyed that and have that information?
That's what the engineers would check on.
I'm pretty sure they would.
That's what I would think.
Considering the work going on out there, it's probably one of the more easily established lines that we have in town. Not all of them are that easy.
I don't think the neighbors are gonna
Yeah.
complain with that garage over there, do you?
What that?
I don't think the neighbors are gonna complain about the garage.
You-
No.
You mean all those
The
dead people?
The neighbors
Yeah, all
are
those
not.
dead
I'm just stating the fact that it's city property. If we look at
Consistency.
one, we look at the others.
Consistent, yeah.
I don't know what we would do if we,
Anytime we're telling somebody to vacate from city property, we have to know that it's city property. So
Right.
that's
and I know
very
we've had
reasonable.
problems with who owns what city property, like up there on the south side of town there with that one guy. I think his name is Sean Carlin. If I look right here, let me see if I can type that number in.
Is that the one by the park?
Nope.
On the west side.
This guy's property.
Oh, the 50 feet that
The
is still in
50
the
foot
city's
that we
name?
didn't know or whatever. I mean,
No, that's-
we've had other people with concerns and stuff about who owns this 50 foot, or did it get sold to him, or did
That-
it whatever.
That property was part of the right of way, and the city went after the owner previous to this because they built an addition onto the city right of way.
That garage.
There.
And so the cure that they had was to tear it down, or the city would deed them at no cost 50 feet. The city did deed at no cost 50 feet, and the poor idiot never recorded it. So it is still in the city's name. The subsequent property owner was notified of it. We issued a deed to them. They never recorded it. The current property owner came in months ago and was all upset. The fact that we had told him that 50 feet was there and that we would be more than happy to issue a deed. And I have absolutely no idea why we
It's
never did.
Looks like
It's recorded now.
It is?
Yes.
Well, great. Now we no longer have to worry about it.
but it's just, my point is just things like that, you know,
But this is an obvious,
this one
yes.
was.
So I,
So the cemetery and the house on North Street,
Oh.
if we have to, maybe we deed them 3 feet or whatever, so it's
Well, I know
not a
the,
problem,
the house
It
on,
has to be
on
6.
or 6.
the house on North Street, they've already asked me about, they had the opportunity to buy that for $1 years ago. Her dad did.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it.
Yeah.
And so she was even asking about buying that property
$2.
for, you know,
Court
And-
costs,
Yeah,
legal
court costs,
fees.
there you go.
It would be.
she said her, so go back up to
Yeah.
North Street there.
I think it's 1,000 now. Was the last transaction we had.
Her and the house directly south of her have both asked about purchasing that, what we call an alley. It's the right of way there. Yeah. So the Gorings are in that one right there with the pool. That's the Gorings. And then Jeremy lives in the house right there to the, nope, right there. Yeah. So both of those properties have asked me about purchasing that right of way area right there. Now, what I thought was that we keep it as our right of way. We put a sidewalk through there, and that makes a safe walkway for people to walk around.
From North Street down.
Yep, it gets them from the subdivision and all that 1 block closer to the school. That's a safe route to school.
Since we own this property, we can.
We put a sidewalk, whether we make it just sidewalk width or we make bike trail width, and then people can transition that
Actually,
way.
that was my thought.
And then we seed it, we do all the grass and all that stuff, and then they maintain it because it's just like a sidewalk in front of their property. So they'd mow around it and weed eat and all that stuff on that sidewalk.
And shovel the snow.
So yeah, I mean,
If we sold it, then they would take responsibility.
They would
Right,
have to.
right.
yeah.
But if we put a sidewalk on that, the way it is, we would be responsible for the snow
Yeah.
removal
Yeah.
and clearing.
No more than any other sidewalk in town.
I thought the budding
Yeah,
property owner was responsible for cleaning it off 24 hours, within 24 hours of the snow.
And if the abutting property owner fails to do it, the city goes out and does it, and we assess it against the adjacent property owner.
And I know when I mentioned the sidewalk option to Melissa Goring, she said she liked that idea. So, but I mean, either way, she's good with either we deed them that property or we put a sidewalk in there for people walking through there, and then they just maintain it.
Wes, there is a process for taking a piece of right of way and abandoning it and then conveying it. And I don't believe anything that has been said so far really follows any of that process. You don't just take the right of way and like an alley and abandon it and then sell it to whomever. You give half of it to one property owner, half of it to the other property owner for all adjacent property owners. If it's not a right of way and it's just city property, which that has never been a right of way, then it's just city property and disposal of city property is done differently than if it's a right of way. Am I correct?
Yes, that's how I understand it, and I would highly recommend getting legal counsel involved if you get to that point, because there is a process that's different for both property that's owned by the city and right of way, and I don't know if the right of way, it might be first right of refusal to purchase, to take or whatever, but there's a process for it, I'm sure there's the lawyers will know more. That one could be an interesting one because of the big question of, is it right of way, is it alley, or is it property?
It was platted as a lot.
Well, I think the plat might indicate that it was intended to be.
So at one
Future
time,
Street, but I think it could open up a gray area. But if you went through the more stringent process to dispose of it, then you could do
at
that.
one time, it must have been maintained as something, because why would the city put 2 posts right in the middle of it?
Oh, yeah, 98,
There used to
97, I used to drive through
You
there all the
used to
time.
drive through there 100 mile an hour?
Absolutely.
You're one of those
Spinning my
problems,
tires all the way around.
Get that deputy back here.
Yeah.
Statue.
Statute of limitations.
That's
But a
absolutely correct.
confession supersedes it.
It was a place where people drove. It certainly appears to be an extension of Ashford. However, it doesn't link with anything because there is no street between 6th and 7th. If you look at the plat, I think it's lot 21. And lot 21 included that stretch and went behind all the houses on North Street. So it was a big, gooseneck shaped lot.
Yeah, the piece of that to the south of Seventh and the north of North has already been conveyed to the property owner. You can see that
Yes.
where it used to go south and north. That's already been conveyed to the adjacent property owner. I will say, for disposal of right of way and or city property, there is a fiber line that runs back in that space.
Of course it is.
So one of the things when it comes to disposal of right of way, if there are any utilities in there, you have to get their either sign off and or provide them an easement for their utilities, you can't make them move.
Right.
So.
Which is what we've done on
Yep.
all other alleys
Yep.
that we have vacated.
Because there's a utility there, that can complicate that if you were to give it to somebody. Now, it still can be done. In my experience, a lot of times the hassle isn't worth the after effect. So a lot of times what cities will do as well, we're not gonna mess with it. Keep it, even though it's not something they need.
Right.
But it's just another thing to keep in mind. That there'll be some more steps involved to dispose of that property, I think. If that-
And I think Joel's idea of putting a trail in there has merit. And it's certainly a lot simpler than going through all the legal channels to dispose of property.
How are you
But-
gonna pay for it? We can't even pay for the sidewalks that we're repairing.
Are you going to pay for the attorney's fees to dispose of it?
Yeah, how are we gonna pay for it?
Why can't we afford to pay for the sidewalks we're repairing? We already allocated that money.
Well, it doesn't show so on them. It shows 0.
It's supposed to, because I haven't spent the money yet.
You haven't spent the money. Okay, all right. I don't see how all of this has anything to do with something that is obviously on city property.
Well, it'd be obvious once we find a pin.
Yep.
And once we find the pin, then we should ask that it be
I don't-
removed.
I don't trust this enough to say,
No,
Beacon, I don't trust Beacon enough to say that the stuff's on my property or on our
And the
property.
homeowner said when they moved in, the shed was already there.
Yeah,
Well, on stilts, I couldn't find a permit with safe stilts. So
It's been there as long as I can remember. All right,
so
Would you like me to direct Greg to come up and take that line?
please.
find that pin. We don't need a
I
whole
looked,
lot.
We have the corner pin and the south pin, so they do have those 2 existing pins, so they'll be able to establish it. So what we'll do is we'll just stake stake the line through that area so that it can be seen. And then,
If you stick the
Well-
line, just take a picture.
It's
Stake the line, take a
Yeah.
picture.
staking the north-south line
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. the north-south
does
line.
not answer
That
the
doesn't help our
question
east-west.
of the
Oh, I see what you're
east-west.
saying. Is it east-west? Okay.
We need
Yes.
the pin for that
Yep.
corner.
So because we know the dimensions there, by having that northeast line, we can stake that corner. So you're right. We'll stake both the north.
Just do
Yeah,
both.
we need this.
Do both.
And you'll let Adam know to hold off until we do this?
He won't get any orders until he gets some.
Okay.
All right. I think that handles number 8 to death.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
Number 9, discussion and possible action on voting on for the 2024 Maxwell Community Betterment Citizen of the Year Award.
Has the Maxwell Area Renewal Committee ever been nominated? Where's our plaque that lists everybody who's received it?
It's in that bucket.
Oh, it's in a bucket.
Oh, here it is.
No wonder I couldn't see
It's right
it.
here.
Yeah.
2020. Where's 2024?
That's what we're.
That's
voting
where
on.
We're in 2024. Yeah, we're in 2024.
Why would we be voting on 2024 and 2025?
The 24 was lost in the shuffle with the
Okay.
transition. It was supposed to be around February that you guys voted
Oh.
the prior year.
Well, that still
So
would
do
have
we
been
need to do
2025
No,
in February.
no, we'd have been doing the 2024 because it was
Calendar year or
Oh.
fiscal year, that's what we.
Okay,
We're voting on the
okay.
past year. Who was the
Is
first
Mark on there? Maxwell Area Renewal Committee?
Who was the last one? Wasn't it Paul?
Paul Ness, 2023. 2022 is George Jones of the Maxwell Rodeo Committee.
All right. We have a nomination in here.
So is that the only nomination?
That's the only one I received.
I will make a motion to accept that nomination.
Second.
Further discussion? Joel,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Steve.
Present.
Thank you. Discussion and first reading of ordinance number 345, an ordinance amending the code of ordinances of the city of Maxwell, Iowa to require dog licenses. Excuse me. Council may consider waiving the second and third readings and proceeding with final adoption.
We don't have to do this with a hearing anymore. It just has to be on the agenda.
Correct. And I can publish it.
I have a question. Should there be a clarification anywhere on dogs that are chipped? Because how do we know how many dogs have chips? And that leads to the next. We don't know the number of dogs that have been chipped, and isn't there something in there that if they're chipped, then you do something different?
The ordinance
Yeah,
says
the
that
ordinance.
if your dog is chipped, it doesn't cost anything. They can get a permit or a license without having to pay anything. However, they have to fill out all the paperwork, take the picture of the dog, write down the chip information, and there'd be no reason why we couldn't ask for the veterinarian information for the chip and the type of chip, because apparently not all chips are the same.
But there's nothing in this.
I don't think we need to have anything in that. I think we can just do that with an administrative procedure.
Resolution.
And I think we need to change the application to add that microchip information on there because I filled mine out and brought it down to Wendy and nowhere on there does it ask for the microchip information.
Needs to be on the
It
full
doesn't
on
ask
app.
for the chip number?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, well,
So I think we need to update that application to have that on there.
And we're not charging at all unless you're delinquent, correct?
that's correct.
Does it need to state that fact?
No, because the ordinance clearly says that there is no charge
Where? Where does it say?
in
that?
the ordinance, not in the
Oh, not in
amendment.
here. Okay,
The ordinance says there is no charge.
okay.
The amendment says that if you're late, you're gonna be charged $10. Everybody, whether you had to pay for your permit or whether
Chip
you
or
didn't.
not, yeah.
And again, it's not just chips. If you have a veterinarian tag, metal tag that's on your dog with a unique number and everything, then we'll take that. According to the ordinance anyway.
I move we approve it and waive the second and third readings.
Second,
Further discussion.
So I don't have to pay for a license. If I come in here, if I get a dog, I don't have to pay for a license. But yet,
you
Unless
if
you're
I
late.
don't renew it by May 31st, I get charged $10, right?
well, I would say that anybody, once this is, the mayor has to indicate that when it goes into effect, when this goes into effect, any license issued would be a 2025, 26 license. So no, they don't have to come back in 6 months and get another permit. We're cleaning up our act.
Yeah, a
And
year and a half on the first year.
anything that's issued between now and what is it, April, May, whatever it is. And I've got to turn
End of
back
May.
a page. End of May, between now and the end of May is for a 26 license.
Can I ask a question?
Sure. That's why we're here.
Is this only for dogs that we own? 'Cause I take care of somebody else's dog.
Is it in town?
It's in town.
Well, they're going to have to get a license.
Because it says, well, I read the ordinance, that's why I'm asking. It says if the owner of the dog doesn't live here in town, we don't have to. Unless this ordinance changes that.
Well, that is a heck of a good question. I would say that the intent of the ordinance is that every dog in town is licensed and that we have record of it. And if they have a chip, there's no charge. If they have a vet's license, then there is no charge. And if they are getting one from us, it's $10.
Yeah, but I think what he's saying is say that the people live in Collins
Yeah.
and they have a dog license through Collins, but he brings it over here because he's watching it while they're on vacation. He shouldn't have to come up here and register the dog here. It's not his dog. He's just taking care of it. Is that kind of what you're alluding to?
The thing is, I take care of it long term because her property doesn't allow dogs. And so until she finds a new residence, and I've had the dog for a couple of years now. But
That throws
She's the
a
owner.
little wrench into
Right, I
it. If
understand that, but
you
she's
get
the
that
owner
long,
of the
but
dog. That's
yeah.
the thing. I don't actually own the dog.
Okay, Steve, I've got a question for you. Why would you have to get a city dog license if they're registered and chipped and they have the chip number here for identification? Why would
What are
have to get-
what are you asking?
why
Do they have to get a
a
city
dog
license? No, they don't have to get a city license. They do have to register it down here.
Yeah,
And
And if it's already registered, you don't have to re-register
every year,
Why?
because that's public safety.
All right. Any further discussion? Joel,
Yes.
Sue,
No,
Ken,
Yeah.
Doug?
Yeah.
Steve?
Yes.
That motion carries. Number 11, discussion and possible approval of the purchase of a dog microchip reader for the city use.
now's my time, right?
We're gonna let Wendy talk first.
I reached out to Anna at Story County Animal Shelter, which she's an expert and I'm not. And she recommended, bless you, the Home Again scanner, and then I found a few other ones. Just depending on what you guys want to approve. And it's supposed to do universal microchip compatibility for $269. The second one, I believe, also reads all of the different microchips.
400. $399.
To answer your question, the ordinance says every owner of a dog over 6 months shall procure a dog license from the city. So whether it's yours or not, if the dog's in town, it has to be licensed. So that means she's gonna have to come in and get a license, or you do it for her. Because she's the owner of the dog.
Bonus is it costs $0.
The provision of this section is not intended to apply to dogs whose owners are non-resident temporarily in the city.
And is it temporary? No, it's been here for over a year.
Or the owner is temporary.
I would say that doesn't apply, and so we could fight it out.
Okay, Wendy, are you done?
Anna recommended the Home Again, that's what they use, and she said just recommended to find one that reads all different types of microchips, because apparently there's several different kinds.
And I have a question as who would use it? Because during the week, we can take an animal to the vet, they have the chip reader. And on the weekend, if it should happen, Story County has. And don't we pay Story County?
And they do charge for after hours.
Yes, they would charge us for that.
But the question is,
How?
how much would we spend on that?
Yeah, and since we have no assigned animal control officer, who would use it?
The city code says that Tony
Yeah,
is
well,
the officer.
and he said he's not doing it anymore.
Well, then I
so-
guess he's gonna have to quit.
Well, he needs to be.
But this is the
reminded
mayor's
that's part of his
responsibility.
You would need to let me know those types of things.
I would need to let you know.
If Tony says that he's not willing to do something, I need to know.
Well, he has made the statement that he's not doing that anymore. He's got too much else to do. So does he appoint someone else to be the city animal control? Or does he do it? Even though he says he doesn't have the time to do it?
I think it's the mayor's responsibility. Not Tony's, to assign somebody with.
Well, but somebody should be assigned to be the animal control officer if it's not going to be Tony.
I'll have that conversation with them.
Okay. And how many dogs are chipped?
I don't even know how many licenses we have.
No, that's just it.
How many?
We don't know.
15.
15?
Got 15 licensed dogs? Oh,
so far.
So that means the other 400 dogs that are in town might be chipped.
I'll
But
check
that's
it. You
just,
optimists,
is it
you.
worth it to purchase something that is maybe be used? You know, I just, like I said, I squeeze the buffalo.
I hate to tell you my personal opinion on this.
Well,
I would be
I
interested in hearing it.
express my personal opinion.
Find an animal at large, let me know. I'll take care of it. It ain't going back to anybody.
You have the authority.
I do. Well,
If a
I'll
dog
clean up
gets-
the town. There won't be any more.
We don't
dogs.
need any chip readers in, do
We
we?
don't need no chip readers.
Didn't give their cats food.
I'll take care of whatever I find.
Yeah, cats need to be corralled too instead of.
I'm sorry, if
let
you
loose.
can't take care of your own animals, I don't know what to tell you.
Unless they were
There's no
accidentally.
unless. There's no unless. There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for me to ever have a dog that I am not fully in control of.
Yeah.
And if I can't control my dog to the point where it's going to attack somebody else or run off my property, it is not in control. It's my responsibility. I take full liability for any part of any animal that is mine, and everybody else has to. So I don't know what else you want me to do. I'll run around town shooting animals. I don't care. I have the
No.
authority to shoot in town,
You can't.
so I got 22
Yes, he
shorts and I got a pistol.
Now that's totally ridiculous.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It
Not
is
according
not.
to the ordinance.
Because
I have
an
the authority
animal
to do that.
can get out
I don't care if it
accidentally.
does accidentally or not. It's still a liability, and that person's not taking their liability responsibly. I have
Not
no
all
problem.
dogs would-
You let me know next time you see a dog. I'll go down and take care of it. I'm tired of talking about dogs, to be honest with you. We've
about the cats?
wasted 3 months on this.
What about the cats that are running loose and
And take care of those.
Take care of those two. Bring them down to my place. I'll let them keep killing all the mice.
well, you can't let them loose though, because I mean, all that does. Anna had a sheet, but unfixed animals, how many it would be in a year's time and 2 years' time. It's into the thousands and thousands of cats that are running around, and
What are you proposing?
the cats need to be in. It's,
What are
it
you
can't be
proposing?
just dogs.
I understand what the
Our,
concern is.
our ordinance should also include cats.
We can dispatch those too.
Hmm?
We can dispatch those too.
Yeah, but our ordinance, not just dogs, it should also include cats.
Licensing of cats?
Yes, something, some way to control people letting the cats run loose. And multiplying and multiplying and multiplying and creating more problems.
What if the cat's fixed?
Well, it still shouldn't be run. How do we know that? Unless they're licensed.
I think you
Then
can
we
lift
would
the tail,
know.
right?
Hmm?
I got better eyes than I do.
I think that,
Just a
For a
little
cat,
tiny
it's not
license
that
plate.
easy.
I think Sue has a good point that, we should defer purchasing the, chip reader for now. If we have, a dog that's, running loose during the day, we can take it to the vet clinic and have it, scanned. If it's on a weekend, then we'll call the animal control and have them make it and pay the cost and just see how big of a problem it is. I don't know of any time where we've called animal control on the weekend and had them come down. But that just may be because I don't hear it.
Wendy, have we any?
On the weekend,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
your,
Tony's gotten some calls about some dogs at the Dollar General that were aggressive,
How long ago and how frequently?
maybe a month.
And this was a one-time situation?
That's something that I've heard of.
Well, I think that the mayor has a solution on that.
Let me know.
So I suggest we defer the purchase of the chip reader until we have a chance to see how many chipped animals we have and how big of a problem it is.
think first we need to find out how many licensed animals we have. We don't even know that.
Well, that's why.
Well,
15.
right, but yeah, we have, those are registered, not licensed. Not,
You wanna know how many dogs don't have? Like I said, the other 400.
All right. Anybody, any concerns against tabling this?
Please table.
Thank you. Discussion and possible action, excuse me, number 12, discussion and possible action regarding a tree located at the public right of way, corner of Broad Street and Maxwell Street, specifically addressing low hanging branches that extend over the public sidewalk. Mr. Gass had provided a sample of the code, which indicates that it is property owner's responsibility for maintenance. Picture is included in here, and I can tell you that tree does not look like that right now. Property owner is already addressed most of that.
The handout that I gave everybody is what I believe the city council should adopt as a policy. Both sidewalks and trees refer to abutting property owner. And then the question becomes, what is an abutting property owner? If you touch by a single point, are you an abutting property owner? For example, on sidewalks, we had suggested that the city be responsible for the sidewalk from the owner's property line to the edge of the street. And we do that because the construction of it's a little more difficult. You have to have the handicap marker on it. So, the construction is just more detailed. And the adjacent property owner is the city on both sides of that sidewalk, except for a single point where a private property owner touches where the sidewalk is.
So you're talking about the corner of the intersection of the two sidewalks.
So from there out to the street, the council has said that's a city responsibility. We're going to pay for it, constructing that. And from there to there, it's ours. The property owner is responsible for their back that way, and from there back that way. That's theirs. They are the abutting property owner. But what does abutting mean? If you touch one point to this, are you an abutting property owner? And if we say no, then the tree ends up with the same situation. The tree is not abutting this property. That tree is not the responsibility of that property owner.
Okay, so now go across the sidewalk and say there's another tree where that right arrow is. Right there.
Well, that's the abutting property owner is there. Look at the definition and the policy. And since the property line runs from there to there, any tree out in here would be abutting this person's property. They have responsibility for trimming.
So the place that would be exempt would be beyond
Yeah.
that last rectangle, triangle, whatever
Just
it is.
as the sidewalk would be the city's responsibility there and there. That would also be the city's responsibility to trim or to cut it off or whatever we want to do. That's a terrible place for a tree. Yes, it doesn't look like that anymore, but it's still a terrible place for a tree because of the obstruction to sight distance.
But it's city's responsibility on that corner.
Well, I'm saying that we should adopt a policy, and the policy, I've given everybody a copy of it.
Would define.
The policy says for the purposes of section 15103, duty to trim trees, the abutting property owner is responsible for trees within that portion of the right-of-way adjacent to the front property line and for corner lots, the side property line. Not out of the little, what is that called? Whatever.
The triangle.
Do we still have money in the tree removal?
Yes.
I move that we get rid of that tree
For public safety
for
purposes.
public safety purposes because of the line of sight. And it's also not meeting the code there for the trimming over the street and the sidewalk.
Well, they've already trimmed it up and it looks
Okay.
really good now.
I move to have it removed.
I like that tree. It's one
Is
of
it licensed?
the few big catalpas.
Yeah, you have to-
If you can shoot dogs, I can cut trees.
Yes,
Just
you
saying.
can. Yes, you can.
I'm getting kind of weird here.
Well,
We have a motion.
should we adopt the policy first and then make the motion?
No, because the policy was brought to us after the Friday cutoff from last week.
Well, the policy
it
is
is not
part of
listed.
this discussion item,
It is not
discussion and
listed.
action.
This is possible action regarding the tree, not regarding a policy. So I would say
On
the
that-
policy can be added to next month's agenda. I think cutting down the tree.
Well, in that case,
That's my-
I'm gonna
that's
have
my
to
motion.
vote no, because there is no clear policy. We were just going out cutting down trees.
Because it's a public safety issue.
And last call for a second. Hearing none.
Well, let's take it to a vote. Second.
All right. Further discussion.
So here's where I'm going with the policy, okay? I had something on the agenda and it got dropped off the agenda because I didn't have my paperwork turned in before the cutoff date. This paperwork was not turned in before the cutoff date either. It was brought in tonight. So therefore, it does not meet the requirements to be on the agenda tonight.
Well,
That's why I'm saying no to the policy right now.
And the thing that you were putting on the agenda, was it associated with any item on the agenda?
It was on, I had two items on the agenda and they got dropped off the agenda because I didn't turn in the paperwork with it.
And so that it is not associated with anything currently on the agenda.
No, because it got pulled off.
Okay. This is associated with something currently on the agenda. So I see that as a difference.
Mine would have been on the agenda too, had I
Like-
brought the paperwork in,
And to further your point.
which I have the paperwork right here. So I should be able to drop it off tonight and say, okay, let's add this onto the agenda tonight.
No,
To further your point, you may discuss it at the council discussions, which is the same thing that Doug experienced this week and myself, because I had something that I wanted on the agenda. And we
Save
didn't
it
receive
till
the
we go around.
paperwork until 20 minutes after the agenda closed. We had stuff to work on, and it's gonna have to sit, because we said the rule, this is what it is. and
Which
this
is
what
what I'm
we're going
stating
to
on
follow.
this. This policy was brought in after
Yes,
the agenda was already set. This agenda item does not say regarding a policy. It says regarding the tree.
That one tree.
Yes, that one tree.
This is a moot point then.
So I think we can take a vote on the tree.
we're voting.
We just
on the
can't
tree.
do the policy right now.
Yes.
It can be added to next month's agenda to
We will
do
add it to next month's.
a policy that we can do.
Or the next meeting, whichever comes first.
Right.
All right, any further discussion on the tree removal? Ken,
Yes.
Sue,
No,
Doug,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
and Steve.
No,
3-2. Motion carries. Wendy, please, go with Jake. 14, discussion and possible action to initiate sidewalk repairs or solicit bids for 6 properties identified for repair, including construction of new DOT information regarding summer 2027 Highway 210 project, which overlaps with 3 of the affected properties.
I don't give the DOT kudos very often, but this might be the rare time when I do.
yeah,
Right.
don't understand exactly what the DOT is doing. They have all these wonderful maps and the beautiful colors, but what the hell does it mean?
You
You're
used
gonna
to
put a
work
sidewalk
for
all
them,
along
man.
210.
Weren't you running DOT?
All right, I got through this bidder contract.
What's the first page of it?
70.
Thank you.
So we had identified 3 properties on Main Street for part of our sidewalk. The DOT has come in and said, we're going to do this huge project, which is
Page 73.
beginning at
72.
72.
Dollar General,
71.
Well,
or
yeah,
South Street,
Co-op.
South Street, and going to Woodlawn Street.
Doesn't quite go with it.
Not quite.
It says in construction at.
It says it, but if you look at the plan, it doesn't.
Yeah,
No.
That was one of the comments I had.
That was the first thing I looked at.
Yep.
It stops at the west end of senior housing.
the first map is on page 78. And if you look at 78, what are they doing at 28 Main Street? Putting an access in that is not tied to the sidewalk on both ends between the driveway and Short, and not doing anything on the sidewalk. Page 78.
I think they're actually taking lessons from Beacon.
Yeah.
Because I think their lines are off on all their maps
So
there.
what FOF has put together here on behalf of the DOT is what's called a D2 plan set. That's a concept plan. That's real
Okay.
early. in
So what's the
planning.
concept of what
So-
they're doing there? They're just making sure that there's handicap accessible ramps at either end and not doing anything to the sidewalk?
Yep, and I'll tell you, this has been put together from a desktop that did not come to the field. Now, I believe they made a site visit
They came last Friday.
after this was made. So
Okay.
this is what they started with. I would fully expect there to be massive changes to this after they've been to the city now. You know, they're-
Sidewalk straight through, is that
Right, well,
Oh.
I don't know what they'll do, but they've now made a visit to the site. We do several of these for the DOT as well. They pass them out and you do this one, you do this one, you do this one. So we've got several communities who are doing the same things too. So the next set, I believe, will be a D5. Not all that stuff on DOT stuff, but the D5 set, that's where they'll take what they found in the field, but an actual boots on the ground visit, and update this plan with more information.
Still on page 78 at station 103 plus a 0.
Mhm.
You have this ramp again, which I can understand. And then you have the nice tan sidewalk. Does that mean that that sidewalk is being replaced, or does that mean that's an existing sidewalk?
I believe that means that's planned to be replaced.
So
at
the
least-
whole thing.
At least in this initial set, yes. Because if you look at their key, that's,
No,
this-
the key wasn't
6-inch or
clear.
6-inch sidewalk.
They're showing things.
76 has a legend on there for line colors.
Yellow,
Yeah.
curve,
that is ramp, yellow
orange,
curve, yeah, orange
sidewalk.
Sidewalk, 6-inch sidewalk.
so that's an orange.
Yep.
Okay. Okay,
So anything that's colored is an improvement to be replaced
Gray is-
by this plan set.
so
This could change.
further up the road on page 79, in front of Short Line, around station 104, you have some sidewalk being replaced, and on either side of it, some sidewalk not being replaced. Is that correct?
No, the gray is actually driveway.
That's
So we
driveway.
replaced, but they differentiate between sidewalk and driveway. So where there's a driveway, they'll thicken it, or construct it
Okay.
differently or whatever.
On the opposite side of the street, there is something in red, which my eyes can't read.
Do we want to
The red notes are, I believe, the engineer's notes of things to look for when they get out the field, because it's a question.
So that's a question.
And
of-
what does it say?
It says, do we want to elevate sidewalk and have a steep apron? How to keep sidewalk at entry door compliant, review drainage
because
between
the
buildings.
white building next to mine has a
Yes,
45
from,
degree
from
angle.
the curb all the way up to the door.
Yep.
And so they're going to study that and figure out maybe elevating the sidewalk. How does that help? Because
You still- I
A
don't know.
2-foot curb.
Well, instead of a curve, they would go slower, weren't they?
Yeah, it says it's to have a steep
You're
apron.
gonna elevate
So
that, so
you're gonna have
if
a-
that guy happens to have a car in there, he has to go down the step, or
No, it says a steep apron, so they're talking like a,
it is that right now.
yeah,
yeah, there is,
yeah.
It is that right now.
It's already steep.
hmm
and that's one of the problems of using that side of the street for,
So
And it very well could be that after their visit, they could go through here and say, there's no way to fix this, we're not gonna do sidewalk there. There's no legal.
Yeah.
They may make drastic changes to this where they pull things out.
So-
Things look different when you look at them with your own two eyes.
on page 80, what is the red crosshatch?
Okay.
Page 80.
I saw
I
that.
didn't see anything in there,
oh, that's the ramp entrance into 78 Main Street for the vet clinic.
Oh,
So I don't think they're doing anything with that ramp.
I think you're right. Probably,
That's a
no.
recently replaced.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's not a marquee, but I think you're right.
so the red crosshatches, leave it alone.
That's how I would interpret it.
Well,
There's another one too.
Does this in effect put us on hold for those 3 properties that you had pinpointed?
So 114 Main Street is a corner lot. That one would stop the stuff that was taking place on Main Street because I'm not going to do anything if they're going to do it.
Right, right.
But we could still go to the south on that property along Second Street, and then, or maybe that was 204. Sorry, that's 204. And that takes care of 114 as well because that was going to replace everything there except for they're going to figure out how they're going to fix our light poles because we got light poles all down the street which aren't identified on here.
Well, and is that a streetscape section where it's paved all the way up to the curb?
Yep.
Because according to this, it looks like they're only paving a strip of that, so they'll leave up between the curb and parking, if you will.
Of course they would.
Yeah, and so that was one of the questions.
But that was one of the things that
Yeah.
I had talked to him about
Yeah.
is that if we schedule it at the same time and we get it formed and everything, then the concrete coming in, we just get it at their price because we're
If you can wait
jumping in.
until this project goes, I don't know what they're scheduled for bidding, you might be able to just do a third-party agreement with the contractor that DOT has,
Yeah,
similar to all the stuff that we did, third-party.
right.
you know. So,
Yeah,
yeah, do this.
Do
as
this
well.
well, yeah.
So what was happening at
Bricks in.
204 Main?
Part of the sidewalk on the frontage of 210 was going to be replaced, and then there's part of the sidewalk south on Second Street that would be
Okay.
replaced.
So
Second Street would still take place.
But there again, I think if we worked with a third party
Yep.
contractor to get that done at the same time,
Or there's always an option, as the DOT puts together the plans, you make a request to them to include it in their plans.
I would say that would make the most sense.
I would start there, see
Yep.
if the DOT will include it in their plans, because it's bad, it's integral to the rest of the sidewalk they're already replacing.
Yep.
You can make a case that just makes sense to do it all at the same time.
Including the curb.
There's also some other questions on the ends, where they stop and start. You know.
Yeah.
We've talked about a sidewalk at Dollar General
Yep.
several times.
Mhm.
That's on 210,
Yep.
and that's a business.
Yes.
Would they consider extending the sidewalk all the way to Dollar General? I don't know if they would or not, but doesn't hurt to ask.
We have a crosswalk there now,
Yep.
so
Same thing with
Yes.
the Woodlawn, Rock Creek, or at least maybe to the senior property line or something.
The,
if they can get to Woodlawn, it also solves our north side of town issue.
Or where they stop, go north there behind senior housing.
so the action in front of us for this is, possibly delay the 3 properties with sidewalks on Main Street until the DOT does its final plans, and that we ask the DOT to include the sidewalks out to the curb along from Second down to Short Street.
I agree.
If they indicated any timeline on this.
Yeah, a year from now,
Yeah.
Is it
Well,
a year from now?
year and a half from now.
They said summer 2027 is when they're gonna start.
December of 27?
Summer.
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 So as long as you can wait for those pieces until summer of 27.
Can we
I would go
take
ahead.
those 3 off, like Steve suggested, and add the next 3 to the list? So we can,
I think that's the most
I think
reasonable opportunity.
you have
Right.
a list, you just jump up the
You have to
other
go
3.
2 or 3 more down the list.
Well, we're not going to be doing any sidewalk until April anyway, are we?
No, not likely.
Maybe March, depending on what the winter's like. But, so we've got time to add 3 more.
I'll bring it back to council for approval.
And who's a good person to talk to the DOT?
They gave me their part of the point person.
Tell them that we have discussion, we have some overlap, and we, when they, part of the sidewalk from Second all the way down to Short Street or Railroad, whatever, needs to be wide enough that it covers from the curb back to the building line.
The only question I have about adding 3 more on to replace these 3 is that, so the portions where we're going to say, okay, we want them to continue on to Woodlawn. That's going to cost us money through this third party agreement. So should we wait? Because we're going to have to.
2027, which would be fiscal 28. I need to spend this money
Okay.
fiscal 26, which ends in July.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're planning for spending extra money.
We can plan for that next budget. Well, not even
Well,
next budget.
One more.
One more budget. Okay. Wendy, will you share that information with the developer? The sidewalk developer, program engineer, whatever.
With the DOT DOT project person?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
So do I need to send letters to the three on Main Street and say never mind?
No,
Tell them that
Tell 'em
their,
it's
theirs is being deferred until the DOT,
two of them.
well,
One of them still relevant. It's just a side. It's a side.
all three sidewalks on Main,
Yes.
but
I would hate to have them put something in though, the DOT come in and tear it out too, so.
Right.
We need to communicate with them, I think.
I won't be bringing anything on Main Street to anybody's attention.
Got it.
So, or on Fifth Street. Oh, Wes, did you see in there, was there Fifth Street and Metcalf, is there crosswalks? This is gonna tie into our TEAP plan.
Yeah,
Yes, I did not
there's a
look
next-
at those back to back,
there's a
but
crosswalk.
I did send a email to the teach guy, but I did not hear back from him yet. On just the status of that overall, because then I was gonna bring this up as well to see if there was any overlap.
they show Fifth and Metcalf as having a handicap accessible crosswalk. But they don't show one on Maxwell.
That should be Maxwell. That's gonna be the main cross.
Show this one.
Right, I think, is there sign on Maxwell?
Past that house on the corner, yes.
Okay, so they have to put the crosswalk in there, they have
Our-
to extend it. Is
our
is
plan.
painted lines there though?
Huh?
Yeah.
The arrow looks like there's painted crosswalk there at Maxwell,
Yes, there is.
There is.
but
Yeah.
there's no sidewalk to it.
No,
No.
That'd be a good one to put.
our
Metcalf
Plan.
is the same way.
community betterment plan was to extend the sidewalk from where it ends right there at the driveway, right at the edge of the image, up to Fifth Street, and then have another extension going south from the north side of Fifth Street, because that is where you're on page, you don't have page numbers.
That's where the major crosswalk is to the school.
So Metcalf and Maxwell both have crosswalks,
Mhm.
should
They're-
have
they're
crosswalks.
supposed
Should they both have crosswalks? Do we need both of them to be,
All depends on how many kids you want run over.
well, I could say the next block same way.
They're both used.
Yeah,
So
they are.
I have many kids walk in front of my property.
Oh, yeah, I know, I agree.
Yeah.
But should one of them be designated as the main, the safe to school?
Which
Because
one,
we're gonna
The
come from the west.
sidewalk-
which one are you
The
gonna take?
sidewalks,
I-
Whichever one's
one.
closest.
but the
Whichever one leads
sidewalks,
to the front door of the school,
Well, that's Maxwell.
that would be Maxwell.
yeah, but the sidewalk is one of the issues of having one at Metcalf also.
Okay. Because we're the same way coming from the west, aren't we? Third Street and Second Street, both west of the gym.
Third and fourth.
Third and fourth, same wrong number, yeah.
There is a crosswalk at Fourth, and there is a crosswalk at Third on the north side of the street.
It doesn't have to be both sides. Doesn't have to be four corners, but there should be one safe passage across the street.
Yeah, and that's
Especially
what
the
I'm saying.
same
We've
highway.
got two though that we're saying.
One.
Are we gonna have sidewalks going beyond, straight on through from the ghouls to the school on both sides of the street? Or both intersections on both sides of the street?
So ask your question again using different words.
Probably the same word. With two crossings coming from the north and two crossings
Maxwell
coming from
and
the west,
Metcalf.
and then Third and Fourth, Are we gonna have sidewalks straight on through on both of them, on one side of the street?
Third and Fourth both have sidewalks, all leading
both
up
sides of the
to Maxwell.
And Fifth
And
was gonna be
on-
on the north side.
There is no sidewalk on
The corner.
Metcalf at Fourth.
There you go. Or Fifth Street.
Yeah, Metcalf does, Maxwell doesn't.
Maxwell,
There's
Maxwell does not. There's no
Maxwell has
crosswalk.
nothing right here, but it has sidewalk all over
Starting
the
at-
school.
really good sidewalk starting.
Yep.
And it really gets crappy about right here.
Now, your
Metcalf,
question was Metcalf and Fourth?
no, Metcalf does.
Okay.
Maxwell is the one that doesn't on,
Come over this way. Good sidewalk and crosswalk there.
Oh, my good sidewalk.
It needs to be made better. And there, there.
so we're on the
We
north
need
side
to
of
do
both streets.
this one right there. And I think this one is in bad shape, but those are city responsibilities.
Okay, yeah. Get my head straight.
All right. Discussion of possible appointment for the vacant seat on library board of trustees.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Looks like a very competent individual.
All right. Sue,
Yes.
Doug?
Yep.
Steve,
Yes,
Joel,
Yes.
Ken.
Yeah.
Number 16, discussion and possible action on Story County Housing Trust donation request and 2026 Story County Housing Trust application for funding.
It says it hasn't received the one that they don't ask for this year. Did we approve that for this fiscal year?
We approved 25 and we paid 24 that was late last time. So they're asking for 26 and now 27.
oh, they want us to pay ahead for 27?
Probably thinking the same kind of thing.
Did we have $17,000 in community and economic development? $11,570 left. And this is certainly a community betterment. So it fits in the community and economic development category. I move that we pay fiscal year 26 and 27 out of our appropriation for economic development.
I'll second.
Further discussion. Hearing none. Ken,
Yeah.
Doug?
Yep.
Sue,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes, I'm a little reluctant about paying a whole year ahead, but yes.
All right.
It's like paying.
Just as long as they don't bill us again next year.
Right?
I go for 28.
The only ones that paid, so let's keep building them. On to 17. Discussion and possible action on codification project for chapters 1 through 37 of the Maxwell Code of Ordinances.
Dale, did you want us to apply for the second part of that? Application for funding? You know what?
No, we just all apply
Oh,
for
yeah,
it.
that was part of the.
Yeah, I'll apply for it.
Okay.
I submitted a number of proposed city responses 2 months ago to these questions. Have they been shared with the council? Okay. However, everybody's looking very quizzical. I don't think anybody read them.
This in the packet? Is that what you propose?
No. One in the packet doesn't have any responses at all. Way to go, Wendy. And I also had a bunch of questions that I thought we should ask Justin because in reading those chapters, I came up with additional questions. And I think Wendy did send those off to him, right? So she has all the answers over there that she'd be more than happy to share with us.
I sent everyone Steve's comments on October 1st.
Yeah.
I'll print those. And then questions for Justin, was it about the missing, what we thought was missing? Steve?
Oh, I had about 14 questions. And I presume you have answers to all those. Because I'm being a real butthole.
I'm glad you said that. No,
Because it's true.
I know.
Shall we vote on that?
He's
Well,
already
his-
admitted, no need for a vote.
All right.
Dale,
Yes.
I have a procedural question for you.
Okay.
When Adam comes up with a problem with a nuisance or whatever it is, would that come to the council prior to his sending the letter? Or he sends the letter, just sends it out?
And then they have the opportunity to come up and present their,
Okay,
Their
it would be the person that they sent the letter to request. Okay, and that would be our only opportunity to discuss it.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
They have 10 days, they have to tell me within 10 days of receiving the letter that they want to speak at the next meeting. Oh, I had to unplug the printer to plug in the owl and the microphone.
good times.
While she's doing that, I think we should look at somebody to add an addition for receptacle plug in that area.
You can add it to next month's agenda.
I'll bring it up on my council.
There you go.
It'll be our second meeting tonight.
Anybody opposed to moving on and coming back?
Nope.
Department reports. Sheriff, done, fire.
One oh
We
eight.
have a winter fire school down at Prairie Meadows. Fire one class is starting March 26th. Training November 2nd.
Done.
Yep. December 4th will be at the burn trailer. Meeting November 17th. That's about it. EMS. Discuss the football game. That's about it.
Thank you.
No library report, no public works report. City clerk completed the 25 street fiscal report for the Iowa DOT. Completed the 25 annual fiscal report and submitted the Iowa Department of Management.
Then did you also print out the attachment, which was my proposed answers to the question?
Received reimbursement for DNR derelict shed grant, $16,815. Reimbursement request one, $228,000 has been approved by the DOT for Baldwin project. Be sent later this month. G-Works enrolled Carrie and Wendy in video training modules. These are included at no additional cost as part of our subscription. Gradually working through them to help fill in training gaps. Attended the League of Cities budget workshop next week.
Your original email didn't have an attachment.
Yes, it
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, 'cause I got it.
See it in my sent.
The supplemental record? That screenshot?
You sent it out to us on October 10th
Okay.
at 3:25 in the afternoon. You sent it to council.
Wes, go ahead.
Okay. A few things, Baldwin Street reconstruction. So there's, an issue with, Shannon Robertson sewer service that got interrupted during the construction. We were not notified that it was interrupted and was not reconnected. So we are working with them, Riley Dave Holbrook, contractor, and, Spencer have been talking back and forth, to try to find a solution for that. It causes some issues because there's a conflict in elevation and it looks like it might be a shared service between all three of those houses. We don't know yet. So what we've asked him to do is get a temporary rig set up so at least Shannon can still live in his house. He's supposed to do that this week. I've not heard if he got that rigged up or not. But then we've asked him to do some televising to verify the condition of the sewer service as a whole, and then verify the break location and if it's a combined sewer, that kind of thing. And then we've got waiting in the wings some potential solutions to get that reconnected back up. It may mean having to come this way a little bit and getting underneath the storm sewer, but we don't know until we find out more information on the sewer. So that's a hot one, although to Shannon not hot enough, but we're working on that one.
Wouldn't you say it's highly unlikely that it's a combined sewer? Because if there was more, I can see Shannon,
Yeah.
a single dude living alone
Well,
in a house.
So what we think is the combined service might be on this side of the sanitary sewer or storm sewer, so it might still be working. You know, the other services might still connect, but just Shannon's connection to that combined service might have been what got interrupted. So yeah, the fact that Shannon has a lot lower flow is what the only reason it's made it this long without an
So
issue.
it wouldn't be the property owner to his east that has a joint connection.
It might be.
Well,
No.
They certainly, there's a family that lives there and.
Well, but I think, but see, the storm sewer is going down, so their sewer service might be low enough that we went over top of it and didn't interrupt it. And if the combined sewer is on this side where it taps, we think it's on the south side of the new storm sewer, so it taps into the sewer on Baldwin. So if we went over their service with the new storm sewer, then we wouldn't interrupt their service. Shannon's got interrupted. We don't know about the house to the west of them.
So you think the house to the east connection is on Baldwin rather than Fifth?
We don't know. We don't know. But there's also a lot of other construction going on there. We just want to make sure to know where it's at. So we're having Dave televise up that line to find out.
I have a couple of concerns with this.
Mhm.
One, we had Snyder reviewing construction processes.
Yep.
Two, the contractors obviously were aware of this situation because why else would you put tape over it?
Yep.
So when I have those types of situations, I'm struggling finding liability for the city in this situation, and I need to know where the money's coming from and how it's going to be handled.
Yes. And I would agree. So we went back and we talked to our construction observer. We went back and looked at our daily records. Spencer did and went through that. We do find in our construction photos a photo of that area with a pipe sticking up, which is usually what they would do to mark something. But there was no discussion of what to do with the conflict. And usually when those are encountered, the contractor will bring those to our attention. We did it all along there with the other sewer service along the street, also the water service. We had similar issues. How it happened, I don't know, whether they thought it was a tile line and just put a blind flange on it, or it wasn't blind, it was a rodent guard to drain it into the, or if that was just a temporary, on Friday afternoon, we'll deal with it Monday, and they came back and buried it and forgot about it. I don't know. We don't know. So, we do know that we did not have any note of it in our records of them bringing it to our attention. So it didn't get addressed at the time. But, so in our opinion, it's the contractor's responsibility when they encounter those to notify the engineer if we don't see it immediately.
Yep.
They didn't notify us. They're the ones that dug through it. They're the ones that put that funny little cap on it and just left it. So I feel like the liability is highly on their side.
What address is this we're talking about?
215 Baldwin?
There is no 215 Baldwin.
I might have got the number wrong.
It goes 213 to 217.
Which house?
Sorry.
Shannon Roberts.
Yeah, Shannon Roberts. Whichever one is it?
There's 217 Baldwin. There's
212. I apologize. That's what I get for going from my memory.
Even numbers should be on the south side of east-west streets and odd numbers on the north, so.
So the other thing
212
I did,
Baldwin.
the other thing I did was I had him send his roto rooter bill
This is Baldwin.
Yes.
because
Oh,
his
no,
rooter ran
it's
into
Fifth,
that. finding
not
the
Baldwin.
problem, So
Okay, so his report's wrong.
Corner.
that's part of the cost. So.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. And obviously the contractors hold his cards close as far as
How'd that happen?
how it happened, as well as how much liability he sees he has. But the fact that he's been willing to work with us so far, I think he sees that as oops.
Well, yeah, because he hasn't answered anything else. We're still sitting on
Yeah.
pay app number 4
Yeah,
for
which-
9 months later. So
Yeah. So, we'll
Two,
work into that.
215 Fifth Street.
215.
215.
Okay, yeah, his report says Baldwin.
It's because I called it Baldwin.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
problem.
Yeah, that's why I was confused where we were
So
looking
I had
at.
the 215 right. I had the
Yeah.
street wrong.
No big deal.
So we
his
don't have a
driveway.
resolution to that yet, but we're working on that.
It's over in his driveway,
When did you know if Shannon if he got that temporary
right in front of that tractor, just to the
rehab
left of
yet or
it,
not?
I don't think so.
Okay.
where that little blue spot
I'll
is.
follow up
Looks
on
like a
that.
ball,
That right there,
pretty much.
Sandy's.
Oh, it's a
It's a
reflector.
reflector. Okay.
Has Shannon been in again since?
Not since Monday.
That was kind of his, what I sent, that was his issue.
Yeah.
We didn't take care of it.
Yeah,
So
agreed. And when I asked for a temporary solution,
Yep.
the contractor was, I'll be out there early next week.
Yep.
So he didn't argue with that one. He said, yeah, we'll get out there.
Good.
Whether he did or not, I don't know. But, I'm gonna skip over a lot of the stuff that's just for your information. It's ongoing. One thing I forgot to put in here, I believe we did get $228,000 reimbursement from the state for one of the pay apps that we were waiting on.
Yep.
So that's coming to the coffers. We did get concurrence from the DOT on the balancing change order, but the DOT will not begin the audit until the contractor has signed off on that change order. We followed up with Dave. We did hear from him on that one, but basically it was, I'm just too busy. I haven't had a chance to look at it. Sorry.
So my question is still on hold, right?
Your question's still on hold, right? So, we're not a high priority for him. He's on a job making money right now. So,
I guess my question is that if the DOT is not gonna do a audit until the app is paid and closed, what liability, responsibility are we now facing that we have federal dollars tied to this project, we have state dollars tied to this project, and we can't close the deal?
I will need to follow up on that. That's a good question. Initially, our concern was that reimbursement check getting through us.
Yep.
Now that we've
That
got
helps.
that, at least that helps.
Yes.
But yeah, we won't be able to close out the project until the audit's done. Does that affect any of our other funding? I'll follow up on that with Corey on the CDBG side as well as the SDBG side.
I mean, we've got a big portion of the grants. It's just the little stuff left, but they can ask for it back if we can't complete. So
I will follow up on that one, that question.
thank you.
Storm project, did that already. That's all I have on the Baldwin project. Next big one, well, the stormwater review. I think the city was gonna look at cleaning out some of those tiles. And just let us know if you want us to go into any more detail on that one.
We'll see how they operate.
See how they operate,
They've
see
been
if
up
it
there
fixes the
doing it.
issue or not. So we'll just be on hold for that one. The zoning map update, Steve, I got some correspondence from you. You had heard from the Story County guy. It sounds like they do not have an updated database.
No.
They had it when we did last time, but that's fine.
They've never had one.
Somebody provided it to us from the maps back in the day, but where, I don't know, doesn't matter. We have that old one. It's not too hard to get updated, but you said Beacon will host it for us. Do you get confirmation of that?
Yeah, I included the email to you where he said, all we have to do is provide him the shape file and he will send it to you guys and you'll put it in.
Yep.
So my question back to him was, okay, since you're our engineer and you create the shape file, does that mean you have to provide it to me so I can provide it to him so he can provide it to you? And he goes, yeah.
Round the bush.
Okay. So I guess the direction is we can update that shape file pretty quick with the recent changes, the update thing. Let's go ahead and do that and just knock it out. There's not much to do it. I think there was a correction on one property up in Rock Creek. There was a change in zoning and there was one other one, I think. It was a minor.
Well, yeah, I don't.
It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know if you have the R3 in there.
I think we needed to add the R3 in the old database. Change one of the property was wrong up on Rock Creek Estates. And then make it boundary line somewhere.
We have added a new district that covers the north part of where the $1 million house is, and rezoned to R2, the south part, and then the R3 district should be the only changes. And when you, like I said in my email, follow street center lines, follow property lines.
Well, we have the old database, so we'll just start from that and edit tweak. So it's really pretty easy to do, and then we can provide that updated database inclusion in Beacon if that's what you want to do.
Can we circle back to Rock Creek Ridge?
Oh yeah, sure.
Understand that the project has moved forward with changes in our current approved plan. What are our next steps? What are our responsibilities?
the changes that are being made, some of them are pretty minor, not a big deal, although we'd still like to see it revised design to confirm and verify it works. Some of the changes are larger. I think they're talking about changing some lot layout, different from the final plat. It's my opinion that we need to go through a change process, so they're changing at their risk, that it won't be accepted. We've kind of advised them of that, but they're not in a hurry to submit anything to a revised plan, so.
Will you format me a letter in that language that I can forward back to the developer?
Where are we with our financial advisor reviewing TIF financing?
Wendy, you heard?
I can follow up with her.
Please. Thank you.
Okay, yep. Yep, sorry, I jumped right over that because I didn't have anything new to add to that.
That's all right. Just one of those burning questions in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
That's where the smoke came from.
So updated zoning map, that something you'd like us to get so we can get onto the beacon, so that's readily accessible. And once it's on beacon, then I think it's just a matter of if there's any changes, we just update that to Story County and they.
I think the council approved that at a previous meeting.
Okay, we're good there then. And then that's all I have new. I haven't called you about the sidewalk projects, but we talked about that already. Any questions?
Thank you, Wes. Anybody else? Okay, back to number 817, discussion and possible action on codification project for chapters 1 through 37 of the Knoxville Code of Ordinances. Everybody should have a pile of packets in front of them now.
So the answers that Steve sent to those first 16 questions, I'm in concurrence with, other than number 15 I have a question about. The term assistant city clerk or assistant clerk. The city used term assistant clerk or deputy clerk. You put assistant clerk. However, her email is deputyclerk@maxwell.iowa.gov. So we're still using two different terms.
The response should be deputy clerk. That's
Only if we change the ordinance.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean,
I can read him the email.
Hmm?
I can read him the email. That was what I threw together.
Yeah.
Time we were calling them deputy clerks.
yeah, and I always call her deputy clerk too, but I mean, if that's something that we're gonna, we gotta have common language. You know?
Yeah.
Probably easier to change.
If
Change
they're
the email
if they're
than it is
both
Is it
used,
easier to change the email?
Yeah, I can change the email.
if
Other than that's what she sent out to everybody, that she uses deputy clerk. So
do we use both terms in 2504? I mean, it wouldn't be difficult.
2504
That's what he says.
doesn't say anything about a deputy clerk, but
05.
05 says the assistant clerk, city clerk, and director of public works.
Yeah, I think he was talking 1504.
15.
No, this is 2504.
Yep, that's what it says up top.
Well, Parks and Open Spaces is the code,
20.
or the ordinance. It's
Right.
25. Chapter 18 is the city clerk.
The reason that Parks and Open Space uses the term is because
She is the note taker.
she's the note taker. And that was probably added when we did the tree amendments. And there were other things in this code that were not up to date. And so one of my comments back in this cover email to this was he has to update all of his codes to current before we start reviewing them.
Well, because I think the reason he's asking the question is because 1802 under city clerk says the clerk, or in the clerk's absence or inability to act, the deputy clerk has the powers and duties as provided in this chapter of this code of ordinances and the law.
And so the answer to question 15 should be deputy clerk.
Should be deputy clerk.
And
Keep her email the same.
Yep.
So anywhere where it says assistant clerk in the ordinances should be
Should be
changed to deputy.
deputy.
I think the only place it says that is in the tree ordinance.
Did you do a search?
Careful.
I don't.
I don't think you're going to find it because that
Took me a while.
code has, well, maybe it has been updated.
Only thing we could.
Yep, 2505 talks about
Did I
Assistant
spell
city
it
clerk.
wrong?
Yeah. Sorry.
Jesus.
Sidetracked.
Yeah, that's the only place it has assistant clerk. Is that 2505?
So they all should be changed to deputy.
AS. ASSISTA.
Be 8. Oh, I didn't put clerk. I just put assistant.
The
2505.
2505
And
clerk.
that's it. 6, so there's 8 of them. Public Works
Yeah.
Assistant. Keep going. Authorized Assistant. Regular Assistant. Such assistants.
Yeah.
Assistants.
So our comment back
That's
should
it,
be,
2505.
Yep.
as Joel said, all references should be deputy clerk. And they can make those changes. We don't have to do an amendment because we will be adopting the code as amended.
The only question I have is this set that he sent says section 2504, the term assistant city clerk used in section 2504, but it is not in 2504.
It's in 2505.
It's in 2505. So I'm curious of why his numbering is different than what our numbers are.
Well, his wasn't up to date anyway. So
So in Steve's answer, then put 2005. should be.
You know, he sent us printed copies of what he's working from.
Mhm.
And it is 2505 staff services. It says the assistant city clerk and the director of public works.
So he
Joe
just numbered it
Pavard.
wrong then?
Well, yeah. Compensation doesn't say anything about it.
No,
Mm-mm.
So, yep. He has a typo. But your answer is still correct that we should say city response.
Deputy clerk.
Use deputy clerk in all instances. The first question, verify the legal description. It is correct, but it's more complicated than it needs to be. If you, in that 1, 2, 3, 4th paragraph, where it says the land within section 26, at the end of that, there's a comma. And if you turn that into a period and deleted everything after that, it would still be correct, because everything that's indented there is a redescription by what do they call it when you do by survey, heading in a certain direction, and that meets and bounds.
Survey the quarters.
Well, that's the top part.
Well, the bottom-
The aliquot parts are in those first 4 paragraphs, and it totally describes the city. And then it redescribes it from the comma down below. So all that could be dropped and be a lot simpler and possibly avoid conflict.
I would want a title opinion on that.
I just gave you one.
because I think that line should be moved 800 feet to the west.
But the answer I have in there is, yeah, there's been no annexations. It is correct. It could be better.
Okay.
So we return these responses to him. And the questions that I had 13 questions. Do we want to go, and you say he's answered all those?
Not yet.
Okay, well, we'll deal with those.
So I don't think you could do 5 and 6 yet because we haven't voted on changing
Right.
that.
Right.
Is that a motion, Steve?
Yep.
Well, and I would say yes on number 13. We've talked about it for long before I got on the council.
He has lots of copies of that, so let's,
Now's the time to do it because it makes
Yep.
it super easy and clean.
he should provide an example of a merge of a chapter that has fire and EMS in one chapter. So that we can review just like we're doing the chickens and.
So is that something we need to send back to him, or is?
Yeah,
We'll include that with our other response of the other answers. Did you catch that? Thank you. Yeah, well, not until the council approves. I only have a first motion.
I'll second.
Further discussion?
So question number 15, your answer was assistant clerk. We're gonna have him change that to deputy clerk.
Yep.
And especially in 25.05. Okay.
and any place else it appears.
And we're going to send the answers as given for 1 through 15 and answer to 13.
Yep.
On Steve's question.
Yes.
Sue,
The outlook, oh, yes, okay.
so the motion is that we are sending answers for sections 1
Yes.
through 15.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yep.
We ran right into what you were saying before and I didn't.
Joel,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes,
Yes.
Who motioned that?
Steve did.
Steve did.
Steve and Joel.
All right, adjournment. No, I was kidding. Steve.
oh, we're going around?
Did we go over the claims reports and stuff?
No, we've got library board that we haven't.
There's no library board.
Yeah, there is.
I didn't have a report.
Yeah, it's in the packet on
It's in there.
pages,
106.
I probably skipped it. Potentially.
yep, 106 and 107.
Oh, whatever.
106, 107.
Do you have a copy of the resolution, Wendy?
You sent it to me earlier.
Huh?
I said you sent it to me earlier.
Oh, I sent you the request that it be found. What I asked Wendy to do is to pull up the resolution that was passed by the council that established the library trust. And the library trust is a general fund money that we have set aside from their appropriation so that anything that they don't spend can be tracked as opposed to just being lost in the general fund. And so that resolution passed years ago
2015.
when we established the fire, EMS, and library trust funds. Their suggestion is that we ask that 2102 be changed by adding the word members in order to make it clearer, and that certainly does. I don't know why they have 2102 in there. Oh, just the original and proposed. Changing it so you say all non-residential members, as opposed to saying residential members are to be appointed by the mayor. I think it's just as clear either way, but 2105, I say no on that.
Agree.
Pardon?
I agree.
The trust fund is not, there was not, was never intended to be under the library board. It was, if there was unspent money, it would be put away for capital purchases, and what they need to do is ask that it be spent. And if, because there is a capital expenditure, and we decide if we want to do the budget amendment to allow it to be done. So they it's general fund money, and it should not be part of their control. So I would not change that. The end of that, requesting a detailed report. I don't know if, Wendy, is that a push a button and send them a report? Or is it going to be additional work for you?
I give Anna their budget and trust information before their board meeting. That's no big deal.
So, and this was brought up when I met with them a couple weeks ago. And in the past, they said they had troubles receiving information. So they wanted it in their ordinance that we're required to give it. I was like, I don't know why you wouldn't be getting any information, because we're required to give it to you.
Right.
You asked for it, we have to give it to you.
Yep.
So for me, I said it didn't make any sense why you would want it in your code, because to me, in the state of Iowa, we're required to provide the information anyway.
And so that would apply to 2108 also. Neither one of those would be included. They ask, we would provide what we can.
Yep.
And if the request requires additional work,
Then we get it as soon as we can.
yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
And the new section, communication, putting in statutorily a 2-week time frame. Just seems to be a little bit of a problem. Doing all communication in writing is a good idea. Having a goal of having 2 weeks is a good idea. But there may be instances where we don't have 2 weeks and things need to be done.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of minimums or conditions that we put ourselves in our own pickles when we can't deliver.
So the only one that we could do would be to say all non-resident members are to be appointed by the mayor instead of non-resident. Right now it says the non-resident member, and so it should be plural, or get rid of the and just say non-resident members are to be appointed by the mayor.
Yeah, I think it was a loss of plural.
So I don't have any problem with what they have, or we could do it just by striking the and making members plural.
At 2105, you're saying strike out what they're wanting to do. including the library?
But don't make any changes in 2105. Don't make any changes in 2108, and don't make any changes in 2113.
Well, 2113 is a new section, so that would mean no adding 2113.
Right.
Others thoughts?
Now we're done.
So what did we do the claims reports though?
I don't know. We did go through them. I read the clerk's report and I lost my claims report.
I know.
Well, the claims report was under the consent
Oh,
agenda,
Consent
No,
agenda.
it's not listed on there.
no, it was
B?
stacked.
4B.
Okay. Because I have questions on
Approve
that.
payment of bills presented.
Yes.
Well,
What's your question?
so it doesn't have amounts for some of these things. The very first thing, access systems, quarter 3 usage fees, there's no price. But there's a check number written there and check date, just no amount. So how do we know how much we're paying them? Alliant Energy monthly utility bill, we didn't pay anything, but we wrote a check to them.
Oh, I didn't
So-
see why I didn't have that in my call.
So just kind of curious.
There's another column.
Make a motion that we only limit our packets to 5 items. Good thing I can't make a motion.
No, because then we have 15 meetings in 1 week.
Goodness.
Thank you.
Still can't find it. All right. Any other concerns?
Well, we approved the claims report, but in the future, we need to get all the columns in.
Okay. Steve.
Well, the only thing I was gonna bring up was, the, GIS and
Yeah, we've been here too long.
Yeah.
I got a knee that's chewing on me right now.
Still one of our shorter meetings.
Terrible when we say 3.5 hours is a short meeting.
I just handed in a resignation effective December 10th.
Mr. Gass, I accept your resignation
Thank you.
and I appreciate all of your years of service to our community, as well as your expertise and your assistance that you provided to this community throughout those years.
And as I said in the resignation, anything you need during the transition period, feel free to call. Because the reason I picked the 10th is it's the next meeting, and that will give you an opportunity to do an appointment, effective either immediately or on January 1st. And that council will be the one that approves the budget rather than having a lame duck working on the budget.
I appreciate it. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Sue?
I'm still here sitting here with my mouth open. That threw me a loop for a little. I was asked why the tree dump, the gates are open on the weekend.
Uh-huh.
I don't know either. That was the answer that I had. Then I said, I will ask.
Did you lock it?
I wasn't down there. And I don't know. I was just asked. And
If you're not able to go, let me know. I'll run down and lock it.
I can't do it.
No, that's why you can let me know and I'll run down and lock it.
Okay.
Did someone check out the key? Which weekend was this?
Oh, it's been several weekends
Okay.
that it's just been left open.
You missing
So-
a key?
You know, if somebody checks out
And I haven't given
a
out.
key on Friday and they have it all weekend, then we should be able to tell who left it open.
But I saw contractors were parking down there again. So Monday through Friday, the contractors are probably down there.
Yeah, it's open during the day when they're down there.
Yeah,
or
but
have
the
been done.
weekends is.
Yeah. If it's a weekend, just let me know. I'll run down there.
Yeah.
Okay. Fines, if anybody is fined, is there any reason we couldn't use the drop box out here for the water bill? Where they could just drop it off?
What are you talking about?
For any fines for anything that we've got.
I can leave it out there. Let's
Just because it says water bill on there. I think it's
Yeah,
on
well,
there.
that's what I was wondering.
city clerks or assistant city
And
clerk
then-
picks it up.
There was gossip going around, and you know how that goes. But I thought this one was silly enough that I should bring it up. That Doug Miller, Ken Jans, and I were not responsible for grading the alleyway between 7th and North Street and the tree removal because we are accused of doing that. And it's not true. When I got this little note, I said, well, ask the developer, they'll tell you. But anyway, there's a lot of misinformation going around town about things, and I just thought you should be aware of it.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, that's it.
Joel,
Short and sweet. Got nothing.
thank you. Doug,
Well, Dale and I'll maybe piggyback on this if you take one of those. Whoops, excuse me. We did get a communication from Iowa State regarding our comp plan. They are very eager to pursue and work with us if we need to. As you remember, MIPA has given us a bid already. The average comp plan for them, and we can ask for more. I know Cambridge is one that they did recently, and Cambridge had them work with planning and zoning and do a lot of extra stuff, and I think they were $6,500, which is a lot shorter than $23,000 that MIPA wanted. We can ask them anything we want. We can see what they did, but Julie Robinson would be the person we're working with. Susan Bradbury is the head of the department now. She's the lady that worked with us in 2009 when we did the one before, but she still has her finger in the pie and is very involved in things. This Miss Robinson, Dr. Robinson, no, she's a professor, I think, came down and drove through town one day. She's that interested in what's going on when we get to the comp plan. The average comp plan costs $3,500. As you look through these 4 or 5 pages, about the third page in, you've got kind of a budget of what other towns have done. They being the group that she had, numbers 8 to 15 on a normal class, they are looking at doing this, not this coming spring, but the following spring would be when they would get things done. They will start working this summer or fall. Spring semester is almost here. That was one of the things that they were looking at. Looking at what MIPA wanted, they were going to be a couple months earlier in completion than what the Iowa State project would be. But again, they're looking at an average of $3,500 with $6,000 or so being kind of the maximum that they've done. They did have a city that was strapped. She didn't say what it was, and they did it for under $1,500 for that city. So I think we need to consider this, put it on the next agenda, and maybe let her know, because I'd hate to have another city start talking to her and we get bumped out. But that could happen real quickly. So,
I would suggest that we give the information to planning and zoning
Okay.
so that they can review and recommend to us whether they want to go with this or MIPA.
okay. And she did send us.
Because they're gonna have to work with either agency in doing the comp plan.
True.
Going to be a community effort.
Well, they're going to have some community meetings. She elaborated a little bit, similar to what we did, surveys and other input from the community would be mandatory. And again, looking at what they did, I think we all got an email that had the Cambridge proposal or finished product, and it looked quite similar to what we had in 2009. Maps and charts and various things there. Anything to add, Dale?
No, that was pretty much it. It sounds like we're looking for same thing, but they have additional opportunities. Yeah. But yeah, they would be working very closely. They also provide training for planning and zoning members, which is nice. So just an option, a good option, and we can review it again next month.
Planning and zoning is making up their own. Shelley, I got with Shelley, and that was setting out how to do this and how to do that. Shelley is already in the process of doing that, so.
That's good.
So do we communicate at all that we've talked about it? Do we say we're still interested? We don't want to lose her if we do end up going that
I'd
way.
say
We just let her know the process.
let her know we're very interested,
Okay.
and that we've referred it to planning and zoning so that they could meet and make a recommendation to the council.
When is the next P and Z meeting?
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Okay, that was all I had to share.
Thank you. Good.
I would like to have Wendy find somebody to add an outlet and get a quote, at least a fourplex, so at least we can plug everything in and not have to unplug anything. Second of all, the damage done at the tank,
Freedom Rock.
Freedom Rock, it's crazy. I was trying to get a picture, but I
When did
don't
that
think it'll
happen?
work out. But
Moved over.
this is one of the
Pillars.
pillars. It's missing the top completely, knocked off. The bricks right behind it are knocked out, about 6 of them there. There's the top broken. All the lights on all the flags,
Was a police report made?
Yes,
all the lights on all the flags, including the big flag behind the monument or the
Yeah.
memorial. They're all broken.
and the lights that on the front of the tank that shine on the tank and the rock.
Has anybody talked to the bank to see about cameras? Do they have cameras over there, and are they
I
able to?
don't
They
believe
do
they
not.
have cameras outside. Right there. I would be willing to talk to the bank and ask them if they would be willing to put a camera on that southeast or southwest corner, or maybe the northwest corner, whichever one gives you the better line of sight towards there.
When did that happen?
When I seen this,
You have a date
week
on
ago.
your photo? You were
November 4th is when I seen it.
Were you down there with me when we did the report?
No,
I called the deputy and Tony was down there.
I seen it on November 4th.
So you made the report then, what day, Steve?
He said that you can't get fingerprints off of concrete slabs and that he would file the report and didn't hold out much hope for finding anybody, which I could certainly understand.
The only thing I seen down there was a cardboard box of peach crown, just in case they were drinking. But
Would you be willing to work on getting estimates for repair? I think the sooner we can repair it, the sooner we can show that
Yeah.
we're not gonna deal with that.
Yeah.
But no, we can't. We're gonna have to figure out whose those bricks were, because those were individually
Well,
purchased. but we
these are not
Those
big
were
grade
non-
ones.
engraved ones? That's
those
good.
bricks didn't have names on them.
Okay, good.
The difficult thing is finding out where that cap was purchased from. And I believe it was something that was
Oh, guys
cast.
put
I
together.
think I know the guy who put it together. So I think it looks like it's about a 2x2 concrete.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to get a matching one or if we're gonna have to buy two so that the two at the steps match.
We'll replace
but-
them all.
Didn't I ask you to contact Randy and,
No, you didn't ask me. You don't talk.
maybe I asked Tony to contact you. You're right, I don't talk to you. If you ever showed up at a meeting, I'd be able to.
I was.
No, guys.
So that's all I got is that. I just want to tell Steve, thank you very much for your service. Appreciate everything you've done.
You're welcome.
Likewise, and I appreciate it.
They also were applying a hammer to some of the windows on the tank up at the top, the periscope windows. And so they're all broken out. And Mary Ellen says that there were paintball attacks on the side of the tank. So getting some cameras down there might be a good idea. And we do have electricity, so the cameras could be put up at that top layer of the shelter, pointing out in 4 directions. And the bank is certainly an option, but it's also quite a ways away. So it'd be hard to identify anybody.
True.
So what do you know about surveillance cameras?
Oh, I know a little
he
bit about
knows
them.
a lot.
I know a little bit about them. That's actually one of the things that I was going to talk about tonight, but got scrubbed from the agenda. So
Well, since we're just discussing things now, I know that there are surveillance cameras that you can control pan and zoom.
Mhm.
But most of those require a cell phone connection.
cell phone or Wi-Fi.
If it's, yeah. And so we may be able to get Wi-Fi connection in the future, but right now,
Cellular.
And that and that's where it would be easier if we could work through the bank because they already have all that stuff that we can connect to. And it could be a joint camera system that it helps the bank out, but it also helps the city out.
So there's electricity
So-
down there?
Yes. The thing is lit up at night.
Yeah.
And
Is there anything in the
so on the upper part does have lights and would be able to tap into the electricity there. And it'd also be up high enough to be very difficult to vandalize.
If they did throw a brick at it, at least we'd see who did it.
$250 to buy 4 ring cameras?
Yeah, I'm not sure the
50.
quality of a ring camera.
You should take a look at mine. I can watch everybody walk by from half a block away.
And
identify them.
identify.
My name, huh?
I can see
Yeah.
license plates.
They've gotten better.
So Steve, here's,
Here, we'll
I have
What's
take
going
control
on
over this
outside
camera
my
right
house
here.
now.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Now, are they also pick up motion?
This does, yes. So I've got it.
That's what we would need.
So I've got it aimed at the doors right here. But as soon as somebody comes out of that door or walks up to the door, the camera will follow them to wherever they go. I've got some at some of the schools that are too close for like the traffic. It picks up the traffic, and so it constantly is moving. The elementary school, when the kids are out playing on the playground, that camera doesn't know what to do. It's all over the place. So those types of places, I wouldn't suggest that type of camera, but down there, if we faced it from the northeast, Clinton, down there in the veterans area itself, I think it would be fine there. We just wouldn't want to face it the other way, so it's catching all the traffic, people going into the bank and all that, because the problem with PTZs is that when it captures that person, it follows them. And so now you're missing what's happening over here. So
And if you got a couple kids, one do.
Yeah. so that's a problem with PTZs, is that it's gonna track whatever's moving, but if this person's over here staying still, this person
Yeah.
over here is keeping it occupied while they're over here doing
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get caught.
Yeah.
So
Good point. I
So
know,
whereas on a turret or a dome bullet, you can get like 140 degree. So you're catching quite a bit. So
We do a Wi-Fi with a wireless bridge to extend up to 3 miles. A Wi-Fi off of City Hall up on the road. Flash it down there. Technology's
yeah, and that's one of the things that
Technology's-
I had talked to Astra Security about was on the previous time that I talked to them about cameras was we were looking at putting some up and down Main Street. And as long as they're line of sight to City Hall, they can operate off of that. And then they can actually record back here to City Hall, or we can have it record to a cloud. So
somebody go over and look out the window and see if you can see the top of the pavilion.
I think you can.
Okay, that's a pretty good line of sight, particularly from the top of the building. The Legion and VFW have money in the Freedom Rock account for maintenance, and so the total cost may not be, or shouldn't be, a city responsibility.
Oh, I think it should be.
We have maintenance money there, and particularly if you're going to do an improvement like a camera, I'm willing to wager that they would help fund or fund completely the cameras. What do you
Joel?
think, Ken?
I like that a lot. I agree.
See, I am talking to you.
Yeah, I agree. I was just gonna ask Joel.
Yeah.
If, I know you got all kinds of camera stuff and information and everything, and just bring something back next month. Okay.
But,
Thank you.
but get it here Friday.
Well, I've got it all here right now.
And we can already apply it next month's agenda.
Mayor, what do you got to say?
I don't have anything else. Wait,
Here's a policy, a resolution, I got prices. I
I
got-
do appreciate Steve's years and years of
Oh,
continued community service, and look forward to continuing to see you around town. And we appreciate all that you've done.
I will turn in my city hall key at the next meeting.
Very good.
can we
See,
have
if we had an
all the
access
books that you
control,
have,
we just,
Tim?
we had access control system, we could
We,
just.
now that
delete
we've got the
number.
garage down there, we got plenty of room for
Include
this
it in the
stuff.
budget, get it installed.
Got it all right here.
That's all we're waiting for.
Is it Sue's time?
It is. Talk, Sue.
I think maybe I should move we adjourn.
Second.
Further discussion. Joel,
Yes.
Sue,
Yeah.
Steve,
Yes.
Kid,
Yeah,
Doug.
Yeah.
We're adjourned.
thanks for sticking around.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.